Chapter 1608. Zhao Yun felt a huge body pressing down on her, and a fresh smell of fragrant grass rolled into her nose. This smell was the smell of Mu Lianfeng's body. The two people's eyes met, and their faces were suddenly very close. Zhao Yun's face suddenly turned red. She didn't expect Mu Lianfeng's sudden action. "You, what are you going to do?" Zhao Yun asked nervously. Although the two of them had been sleeping in the same bed these days, and there was a lot of time to sleep together, this was the first time Mu Lianfeng had done this. When the whole body pressed down on her, Zhao Yun felt that her body was stiff, and it became a little difficult to breathe. "Mu Lianfeng, get off of me quickly." Seeing that Mu Lianfeng didn't speak, Zhao Yun urged again. Mu Lianfeng shook his head, indicating that he didn't agree. "Pervert." Zhao Yun's face turned red, and she scolded in a low voice. She was curious why Mu Lianfeng said that it would be better if Daodu and Tian Tian didn't come back. It turned out that he had this idea. The two children were not at home, so he could do anything to her unscrupulously. Men. Sure enough, they were all the same. No matter how serious they looked on the surface, they were actually a little perverted. No. Mu Lianfeng flatly refused, and he had no intention of moving away from Zhao Yun. Zhao Yun bit her lower lip angrily. This guy was playing rogue with her. Knowing that Mu Lianfeng was injured, and it was an internal injury, Zhao Yun didn't dare to resist. She was afraid that Mu Lianfeng would be hurt, but she was unwilling to let Mu Lianfeng like this. Could it be that she really wanted to let Mu Lianfeng take advantage of her? Mu Lianfeng. You. Stop fooling around. I'm not messing around. Mu Lianfeng bent down and stared at Zhao Yun below him. His gaze gradually became hot. And you said you weren't messing around. You, Yun, don't you like me? Zhao Yun was startled. What nonsense was this guy talking about? When did she say that she didn't like it? Mu Lianfeng saw that Zhao Yun did not speak. He knew that Zhao Yun liked him, and a satisfied smile appeared on his lips. Although his lips were on Zhao Yun's lips, Mu Lianfeng tossed and turned, as if he wanted to swallow Zhao Yun into his stomach. Zhao Yun resisted at first, but when she couldn't resist, she simply sank into it. She still rarely got intimate with Mu Lianfeng, because she was busy with too many things on a daily basis. In addition, the children were all in the same room. Even if Mu Lianfeng wanted to make a move on her, he had to consider the negative impact in front of the children. Now that Daodu and Tian Tian were not here, Mu Lianfeng became unscrupulous. The two people's bodies became hotter and hotter. Mu Lianfeng reached out and wanted to untie Zhao Yun's clothes, but he was stopped by Zhao Yun. Yun. Mu Lianfeng looked at Zhao Yun with a somewhat blurred gaze. No. You can't. Zhao Yun said with a red face. Yun, you are my wife. The Emperor's imperial edict should be here soon. Mu Lianfeng's voice became softer, with a sense of charm. Zhao Yun felt that Mu Lianfeng was instigating her to commit a crime. Damn, when a man became gentle, a woman really couldn't stand it. Zhao Yun felt that her body was hot and wanted to vent. Of course, all of this was caused by Mu Lianfeng. Yun. Mu Lianfeng's tone was pleading. Chapter 1609. Yun, I know my own body best. You, Zhao Yun didn't know what to say to Mu Lianfeng. Seeing Mu Lianfeng in heat, she knew that she probably couldn't escape. Since she couldn't escape, why not enjoy it once? These days, she really rejected Mu Lianfeng too much in this kind of thing. If this continued, she didn't know if this man would be stifled to death. Since the emperor had already bestowed the marriage, although they didn't receive the imperial edict in time because they were in a hurry to come back, it couldn't run away. After all, the monarch's words carried weight, and he couldn't go back on his words. And in the future, if she could be together with Mu Lianfeng and become his wife, she would have to have this kind of relationship with him sooner or later. Since it would happen sooner or later, it was good for her to sink into it once. Seeing that Zhao Yuner didn't stop him, Mu Lianfeng gently kissed Zhao Yuner's forehead, and then began to undress Zhao Yuner. Zhao Yuner nervously stopped Mu Lianfeng. Wait. Wait. What's wrong? Mu Lianfeng looked at Zhao Yuner curiously and asked. That. Zhao Yuner blushed and weakly replied, can you put out the candles? Mu Lianfeng saw that Zhao Yuner was shy, and with a palm wind, the candles were immediately put out, and the room was dark for a moment. However, it was because of the darkness that Zhao Yuner felt safe. Mu Lianfeng's hands continued, and the two quickly took off their clothes, and their bodies were pressed together. Zhao Yuner experienced it for the first time, so her whole body was trembling. You. Be gentle. Zhao Yuner whispered shyly. I know, Yuner. Mu Lianfeng replied. The moment Zhao Yuner felt something enter her body couldn't help but stiffen. For the first time, even after giving birth to Daodu, she still felt some pain, but the pain wasn't that intense. With Mu Lianfeng's next movements, the pain gradually disappeared, and a very comfortable feeling spread throughout her body. The two gradually reached the top of the clouds, and enjoyed the rare pleasure of intimacy. After the passion ended, Zhao Yuner lay on the bed, panting heavily. She was exhausted, and the flush on her face didn't recede. Mu Lianfeng hugged Zhao Yuner tightly in his arms, and there was a layer of sweat. It was sticky. It was a pity that it was inconvenient to take a bath in this era. Otherwise, after finishing this matter, taking a hot bath would definitely make him feel refreshed. Sleep. Mu Lianfeng planted another kiss on Zhao Yuner's forehead. Zhao Yuner replied. Perhaps it was late at night, or perhaps it was because she was too tired. After Zhao Yuner closed her eyes, she quickly fell asleep. Early the next morning, Zhao Yuner went to pick up Daodu and Tian. Liang Jinxiao saw that Zhao Yuner's face was scratched, and asked about the situation last night with concern. Zhao Yuner just replied casually, and didn't mention the thrilling incident last night, so that Liang Jinxiao wouldn't be worried. In the next few days, nothing happened. Zhao Ping'er stayed with the third branch these days, and Liang Jinxiao entertained her with good food and drinks. Seeing that Zhao Ping'er relied on her injury to eat this and that, Zhao Yuner was very unhappy. Unfortunately, whatever she said to Liang Jinxiao was useless. In this case, she didn't need to waste that effort. Chapter 16:10. After all, when the new house was built, it meant that she could move in. The whole family didn't have to squeeze into the small thatched house, which was very inconvenient. Moreover, the big house was spacious, so it was more comfortable than the small thatched house that leaked wind and rain. After Zhao Yuner's house was built, she bought some candies from the town. Generally, when the villagers finished building a new house, they would stand on the roof and sprinkle some candies as a celebration to add joy and luck. This was a traditional custom in the village. Zhao Yuner didn't want to save money, so she bought some candies. Of course, firecrackers were also necessary for the building to be completed. Zhao Yuner also bought some firecrackers back. In the morning, when the villagers found out that Zhao Yuner's house was going to be completed, they rushed to Zhao Yuner's new house to join in the fun. When the candies were scattered, they could more or less snatch some. One had to know that the villagers were very poor, so how could they be willing to spend money to buy candies to eat? It was also good to snatch a piece of candy and give it to the children at home. Usually, the villagers didn't pay much attention to Zhao Yuner's new house. They thought that something good could be built when the foundation was at the foot of the mountain. When they came to see Zhao Yuner's house, they realized that they were wrong. Zhao Yuner's house was built with at least 7 or 8 rooms. It looked very imposing. Moreover, Zhao Yuner's house wasn't built with the same broken thatched houses as the other villagers, but with brick and tile houses. The cost of building this kind of brick and tile house was very expensive. It cost a lot of money to build a house. Ordinary people simply didn't have the money to build it. Zhao Yun not only built it, but also built such a big house. It must have cost at least dozens of silver. The villagers were all amazed at Zhao Yun's wealth. In the future, the richest family in the village would be Zhao Yun's family. But thinking about it, Zhao Yun was now hooked up with Mu Lianfeng, and Mu Lianfeng was the current heir apparent. Naturally, it was impossible for him to be poor. In addition to the beautiful brick house, Zhao Yun's walls were painted with white lime, which looked refreshing and bright. It was even more beautiful than the houses in town. If he lived in such a house, it would definitely be very comfortable. Unfortunately, ordinary villagers like them had no money. Not to mention building a big house like Zhao Yun's house, it was already good enough to have a few more ordinary thatched huts. Every family in the village lived together, and there were no extra rooms for people to live alone. The villagers were talking about Zhao Yun's house. Most of them were sighing that old Zhao's family was rich and their lives were getting better and better. In the morning, in the courtyard of old Zhao's house, Feng Zhangxia greeted Xiaofan, when Yun's house is finished, they will set off firecrackers and scatter candy. It will be very lively. Do you want to go out and join in the fun? Let's bring Yang Yang along, and we can grab more candy for Yang Yang to eat. Xiaofan's family was somewhat rich, so she didn't care about these small things. What she hated the most were the villagers who stared at some worthless things and treated them like treasures. Her mother-in-law, Feng Zhangxia, was the same, but Xiaofan couldn't say anything to Feng Zhangxia. If she offended Feng Zhangxia as the daughter-in-law, her life in old Zhao's house wouldn't be easy. Chapter 1611. Xiaofan couldn't help but refuse. She knew that Feng Zhangxia wouldn't say anything if she used Zhao Yangyang as a shield. Sure enough, as soon as Xiaofan finished speaking, Feng Zhangxia's eyes turned. After thinking about it, she felt that Xiaofan's words made sense, so she said to Xiaofan, you're right. When the time comes, there will be too many people and it won't be good for Yang Yang to go. If he gets hurt accidentally, it'll be too late to cry. Xiaofan nodded. Yes, so mother, you should go. I'll take care of Yang Yang at home. Feng Zhangxia quickly nodded. Okay. Then I'll go with Yang Yang. Okay. When the time comes, I'll grab some candies to satisfy Yang Yang's cravings. I haven't bought anything good for Yang Yang to eat during this time. Feng Zhangxia muttered. Xiaofan pursed her lips and didn't say anything. She was dissatisfied with Feng Zhangxia's behavior during this time. Because Zhao Tianhu and Jin Zhu were about to get married, there were a lot of things they needed to spend money on. It would be a huge expense when the time came. Because Feng Zhangxia wanted to save money, she had been living frugally during this time. She couldn't bear to spend money on good things and was even stingy with Zhao Yangyang. Xiaofan began to worry. If Feng Zhangxia was already like this, when her second sister-in-law married into the family in the future, the family would be even tighter. She didn't know how stingy Feng Zhangxia would be. Moreover, Zhao Tianhu wasn't as capable as Zhao Tianhu. As his mother, Feng Zhangxia would naturally make more plans for him. She would probably give whatever money she had to Zhao Tianhu and Jin Zhu. She wouldn't think about Xiaofan and Zhao Tianlong. Xiaofan was annoyed at this thought. Even if she was dissatisfied, she couldn't say anything. After all, it wouldn't be good for her if things got out of hand and they split up. She had to find someone to take care of her and Zhao Yangyang. Otherwise, who would wash their clothes? Who would cook for them? Did she have to make him do it himself? That wouldn't do. She wasn't born to be a country bumpkin. However, everything would be fine after a while. When Zhao Tianlong came back, she would talk to him about splitting up. If Zhao Tianlong could pass the imperial examinations, he would be able to become an official in the future and his family would be rich. Zhao Tianlong could take care of his parents after he became rich, but he couldn't possibly take his younger brother and sister-in-law with him, right? Shen Pan'er didn't want to let anyone take advantage of her. Although they were brothers, there were some things that they had to be clear about. Yes, mother. Thank you for your hard work, mother. Shen Pan replied resentfully. Aya, it's no trouble at all. Mother would also join in the fun if she went. Little girl Pan, it's actually quite lively. You can go out and take a look. Take Yang Yang and stand further away. You shouldn't get hurt. Shen Pan shook her head and refused. Mother, you can go. I won't go. Feng Zhangxia didn't insist. All right then, mother will go now. After saying that, Feng Zhangxia walked out of the room. At this time, Hua Chunhua happened to be in the yard. Feng Zhangxia called out to Hua Chunhua, Mother, Yun'er's house has been built. It will be very lively when they put down the firecrackers and sprinkle the sugar. Do you want to go and have a look? The two of us can go together. Hua Chunhua snorted coldly, her face full of displeasure. Feng Zhangxia asked curiously, Mother, what's wrong with you? Are you unhappy? Chapter 16:12. Feng Zhangxia became even more curious and asked, Mother, why is that? Why don't you go? The house that third brother built belongs to the eldest brother. There are at least 7 or 8 rooms. I'm afraid that there's only one house in our Shui Lan village. After all, it has something to do with our old Zhao family. We'll be honored if we go. Hua Chunhua's expression became even uglier. She replied coldly, It has something to do with our old Zhao family? What can it have to do with us? They built such a big house for us to live in. Now that the third branch has achieved great success, what benefits do we get? Did they think of us? Hearing Hua Chunhua's words, Feng Zhangxia smiled embarrassedly, Mother, there's nothing we can do about it. Our old Zhao family separated from the family. Moreover, that house doesn't belong to third brother and third sister-in-law. It was built by Yun'er. Then it has something to do with Yun'er. We can't think of it. The more Feng Zhangxia said, the angrier Hua Chunhua became. That's reasonable, but they can't do that. I'm that girl's elder, right? Let's not talk about other people. Shouldn't they take me and her grandfather to live there? Isn't it just a matter of a house? Hearing Hua Chunhua's words, Feng Zhangxia finally understood why Hua Chunhua was angry. In the end, Hua Chunhua cared about her reputation. The third branch built such a big house. Everyone in the village was talking about how good the house was. In the end, Hua Chunhua, as the grandmother, couldn't live in it. She could only look at it. Naturally, she was unhappy. After all, a big house was more comfortable than a shabby thatched hut. Feng Zhangxia comforted her, Mother, why are you angry about this? Why don't you talk to third brother? He's a filial person and will definitely listen to you. When the time comes, third brother will nod and agree. Then you can live in it, right? Hua Chunhua was silent for a moment. Feng Zhangxia's words made sense. He would tell Zhao Wenhua about this later. Zhao Wenhua was Zhao Yun'er's father. Could it be that he did not have any dignity in front of Zhao Yun'er? You still can't make up your mind? Alright, I'll talk to third brother about it later. Well, third brother is in the big house now. Let's go and have a look. It's rare to see such a lively thing in the village. Hua Chunhua nodded in agreement. All right then. It's good to go out for a walk and get some exercise. It's really boring at home. Huh, that's right. Mother, you should go too. Maybe the two of us can snatch more candies back, and then we can snatch more for Yang Yang. The reason why Feng Zhangxia pulled Hua Chunhua over so eagerly was that she wanted more people and more hands to snatch the candies. Otherwise, she would not have wasted so much time talking to Hua Chunhua. Then let's go, let's go. Hua Chunhua mumbled. Huh, all right. The two of them ran in the direction of Zhao Yun's newly built big house. Meanwhile, Zhao Ping overheard the conversation between Hu Chunhua and Feng Zhangxia. Zhao Ping was very excited when she heard about the candies. She quickly got out of bed. Everyone was running to snatch the candies. Naturally, she could not be left behind. Chapter 1613. Mother, I heard that father has finished building the house. He's going to set off firecrackers and scatter candy later. Zhao Ping mumbled. Liang Jinxiao nodded and said, yes. Ping, what's wrong? Mother, I want to go too. Liang Jinxiao frowned and said worriedly, Ping, what do you think you're going to do? You can only lie down at home like this. Otherwise, if you pull on the wound on your body, what should we do? Zhao Ping pursed her lips and said, Mother, I'm fine. I've rested for so many days. I won't get hurt if I'm careful. Liang Jinxiao was still worried. Ping, what if you get hurt? Actually, there's nothing to see. It's just setting off firecrackers and scattering candy. Mother, I'm going because I want to snatch the candy. Zhao Ping muttered. Upon hearing that Zhao Ping wanted to snatch the candy, Liang Jinxiao stopped her even more. Ping, what's the point of snatching the candy? Later, I'll ask Yun to leave some for you to eat. Zhao Ping said disdainfully, Mother, Zhao Yun is so stingy with me. Would she be so kind as to leave me candy to eat? I'd better snatch it myself. Otherwise, I'll be scolded by her if I take her candy later. Zhao Ping knew that she should be soft-mouthed after receiving a gift. Liang Jinxiao sighed. Ping, then Mother will help you snatch the candy. You just rest at home and don't go out. Mother, why don't you let me go out? It's better if you help snatch the candy. The two of us can snatch more candy together. Liang Jinxiao felt helpless after being tormented by Zhao Ping. He had no choice but to say, all right then. But Ping, don't be too rough when you snatch it, lest you hurt yourself. Zhao Ping replied faintly, got it, got it. The two of them left the third branch's room together. Liang Jinxiao was afraid that Zhao Ping's body would not be able to take it. Along the way, he reminded Zhao Ping to slow down and not be too anxious. Zhao Ping thought that Zhao Yun's family had built a big house, so she asked Liang Jinxiao, Mother, the house is built. When will you move in? We'll talk about it after we get the furniture back. It'll probably be done in a day or two. It's very fast. Zhao Ping thought for a moment and asked, Mother, the house that Zhao Yun built this time is so big that it can definitely fit a lot of people. Liang Jinxiao nodded and said, that's right. There are enough houses. This time, I specially built a few more. I'm just afraid that there won't be enough space for more people in the future. Mother, then can I bring Brother Yuan and his family over to live here later? Isn't it good for us to live together? You don't know, but my in-laws' house is even more rundown than ours. It's not comfortable at all. Since Zhao Yun built a house with enough rooms, then let us move in too. Zhao Ping said it very casually and did not feel that there was anything wrong with it at all. However, Liang Jinxiao frowned and rejected directly, Ping, how can we do that? This has never happened before. How can we let your in-laws live with us? Mother, what's wrong with that? As long as there are enough houses. You're already living in a big house. You can't possibly let me go back to my in-laws' house to live in a rundown house alone, right? When Liang Jinxiao heard Zhao Ping's words, he felt that Zhao Ping was actually not sensible at all even though she was already so old. Ping, it's not that Mother doesn't want to let you go back to your in-laws' house to live in a rundown house. It's just that there's no reason for two families to live together. Chapter 1614. How could Zhao Ping listen to Liang Jinxiao's words? She only felt that Liang Jinxiao did not agree. Humph, if you don't want us to live there, then so be it. When I earn money later, I'll also build a big house to live in. Liang Jinxiao's mouth twitched a little helplessly and said, Ping, girl, then I'll wait for you to earn money in the future. After walking for a while, the two finally arrived in front of Zhao Yun's newly built house. Although the house was built at the foot of the mountain, because the foundation was leveled, it looked good. In particular, the courtyard was quite big. Coupled with the big house, it looked very imposing. In the village, this kind of house was definitely luxurious and unique. When Zhao Ping and Liang Jinxiao arrived, most of the villagers came to join in the fun, especially the children. Children were the most gluttonous. They hoped that when the candy was scattered, they could grab a few more candies to eat. The villagers gathered together were all chattering and exclaiming that Zhao Yun's newly built house was really luxurious. If they could live in this kind of house, it would be very comfortable. Unfortunately, they could only look at it. They could not live in it. After all, they were ordinary poor people and did not have so much money to build a house. Old Zhao's family is really lucky. In the village, their house is now the best built. Isn't that so? I don't know if the ancestors of old Zhao's family are really lucky. How did the whole family become rich in just a year? Didn't you hear that Zhao Baoshan built a tomb for the ancestors? It's probably because of the blessings of the old ancestor in heaven, that's why the old Zhao family has become prosperous. Hearing this, the villagers felt that it was very reasonable. Now, the only explanation that could explain the continuous happy events in old Zhao's family was the blessing of the ancestors. Otherwise, who could explain which family would have so many happy events in a year under normal circumstances? However, Zhao Baojuan's family was the most unhappy about this reason. At that time, they had built the ancestral grave for the old ancestor's family. If this was a blessing, why didn't the old ancestor bless their family? Why did all the good things go to Zhao Baoshan's family? It was obvious that the elder ancestor had done it on purpose. If they had known earlier, they would not have gone to repair the ancestral tomb. There was no benefit in doing so. Ah, it's going to be sweets, cried someone. Wait for me. We're setting off the firecrackers first. What's the rush? Zhao Wenhua first took out the firecrackers and exploded them. Then, he took the ladder and the candies and stood on the roof. The people who came to join in the fun were already waiting below, hoping that Zhao Wenhua would scatter the candies as soon as possible. Aya, don't push. What are you doing? Exactly. Why are you squeezing? Ouch, you stepped on my foot. Stop squeezing, it's so annoying. Seeing where Zhao Wenhua was standing, the crowd hurriedly squeezed in front of Zhao Wenhua. A group of people pushed each other, and the scene was a little chaotic. Everyone was afraid that they would not be able to snatch the candies and fought to be first. Zhao Yun looked at the villagers and shook her head. It would be good if they did not fight over the candies later. It was just some candies. As for that, Zhao Wenhua steadied himself and began to scatter the candies with the bag in his hand. Fortunately, Zhao Yun bought a lot. Otherwise, with so many people here, there would not be enough candies to snatch. Chapter 16-15. Zhao Wenhua was afraid that the fight would get too intense, so she hurriedly scattered a few more handfuls of candies in other directions. This way, the villagers would split up and fight for the candies, so that there wouldn't be too much chaos. One by one, the villagers squatted down and grabbed the candies on the ground, afraid that they would miss one and have it snatched away by someone else. When Zhao Ping saw the candy umbrella coming over, she hurriedly urged Liang Jinxiao, "Mother, hurry up and snatch the candies. Why are you wasting so much time?" Liang Jinxiao hurriedly squatted down, grabbed a few candies from the ground, and stuffed them into her pocket. Zhao Ping didn't fall behind. When she saw the candies beside her, she hurriedly reached out to grab them, not giving anyone a chance to snatch them away. When the candies beside her were all snatched, Zhao Ping hurriedly shouted at Zhao Wenhua, who was on the roof, "Father, hurry up and scatter more candies over here. Don't scatter them elsewhere." Zhao Ping's voice was very loud, so Zhao Wenhua naturally heard it and scattered a few more handfuls in Zhao Ping's direction. However, the other villagers rushed over like a swarm of bees and squeezed Zhao Ping out in an instant. She fell heavily to the ground, and pain immediately spread throughout her body. Zhao Ping was furious. When she saw the candy beside her, Zhao Ping ignored the pain and hurriedly reached out to grab it. However, when Zhao Ping was about to grab it, it was already too late. Another child's hand was faster than Zhao Ping's and snatched the candy from Zhao Ping's hand. Zhao Ping angrily glared at the child who snatched her candy. This child was none other than Tai Chui, her young madam's precious grandson. Zhao Ping frowned. If she didn't see wrongly, it was her ma'am who pushed her out with her buttocks. Now, her grandson was snatching her candy again. Zhao Ping couldn't take it anymore and exploded. "You brat, hurry up and return the candy to me. Who told you to snatch it from me? You sure have guts." Zhao Ping said angrily to Iron Hammer. Her face was cold and she looked very angry. Iron Hammer ignored Zhao Ping completely. Instead, he stuck out his tongue at Zhao Ping and said, "I'm not giving it to you. I'm not giving it to you. What I snatched is mine. Why should I give it to you?" Zhao Ping became more and more angry. A little brat dared to be so presumptuous in front of her. He really didn't put her in his eyes. If she didn't make a move and teach him a lesson, wouldn't this child turn the sky upside down? Zhao Ping endured the pain on her butt and got up from the ground. She walked in front of Iron Hammer and grabbed him by the collar. She threatened him, "Hurry up and return it to me. Otherwise, I'll beat you to death." Iron Hammer struggled in Zhao Ping's hand. Unfortunately, Zhao Ping was much bigger than him. Iron Hammer couldn't break free and shouted at Zhao Ping, "Let go of me, let go of me." Zhao Ping wouldn't let Iron Hammer go so easily. She continued in a fierce tone, "Give me the candy and I'll let you go. Otherwise." Iron Hammer ignored Zhao Ping's threat and continued to struggle. He also kicked Zhao Ping's leg a few times. Zhao Ping felt a burst of pain. She gritted her teeth and glared fiercely at Iron Hammer, "You brat, you really turned the sky upside down. I'll teach you a lesson. It seems that you don't know what's good for you." Iron Hammer was a little scared by Zhao Ping's fierce gaze. However, it was impossible for him to hand over the candy. Chapter 16:16. "Little brat, you won't let go of me. What are you going to do about it?" Tai Chui hurriedly shouted at Madame Hu, "Grandma, Grandma, someone is bullying me. Hurry and help me. A bad woman wants to beat me up." Madame Hu was originally focused on snatching candy from the ground and didn't know what was happening. When she heard Tai Chui's shout, she looked over and saw that Zhao Ping was actually touching Tai Chui. Tai Chui was Madame Hu's precious grandson, so Madame Hu naturally couldn't bear to see Tai Chui being bullied. Thus, she angrily rushed over to Zhao Ping and questioned Zhao Ping, "Last Ping, what are you doing? What right do you have to bully my Tai Chui? Did my Tai Chui offend you? How can you hit a child? You're already an adult, so how can you do that?" Zhao Ping angrily said, "So what if I hit him? Who told him to snatch my candy? Tell him to return the candy to me, and I'll let him go." Upon hearing Zhao Ping's words, Madame Hu became even angrier. She pointed at Zhao Ping and scolded, "Last Ping, how can you be like this? How old are you, yet you're still snatching candy from a child? Moreover, this is your family's house. How can your own family run over here to snatch candy from others? Aren't you afraid of being laughed at? Zhao Ping didn't blush when she was scolded by Wuxia. Instead, she said very matter-of-factly, "Who said that my family's candy can't be snatched by others? So what if I snatched it? Eldest young mistress, you knocked me down just now and injured me. I haven't even taken it to heart yet. Let's take it to heart now. Also, this brat kicked my leg a few times. It really hurt." Madam Hu wasn't someone who was easy to deal with. Upon hearing Zhao Ping's words, she immediately slapped her thigh and shouted, "Io, there's no justice in this world. There's really no justice in this world. How can she be like this?" At this moment, Zhao Wenhua finished scattering her candy. The villagers who came over to join in the fun also finished snatching their candy. When they heard Madam Hu's shout, they looked over at her. "What's going on? Why is it so noisy? Yeah, what's going on?" Seeing that the villagers were paying attention, Madam Hu began to complain, "Everyone, come and be the judge. Look at that girl Ping. What did that girl do? My family's iron hammer only snatched some candy, yet he's still holding on to my family's iron hammer and won't let him go. Right now, he's clamoring to teach my family's iron hammer a lesson." Hearing Madam Hu's words, the villagers began to condemn Zhao Ping. What's wrong with this Zhao Ping? She's so calculative with a child. That's right. He's already so old, yet he's still so immature. Who in our village would argue with a child? Sai, the eldest daughter of old Zhao's third wife, is such a weirdo. She often does such things, so there's nothing strange about it. That's right, I've always heard that the eldest daughter of the third branch isn't a good person. It was one thing to be scolded by Madam Hu, but now, even the villagers were slandering her. Zhao Ping couldn't take it anymore and retorted, "It was clearly one of you old things who pushed me and fell. A little brat snatched my candy. How can it be that I'm being unreasonable?" Madam Hu pursed her lips and said, "Then I didn't do it on purpose. I didn't mean to hurt you. Iron Hammer is also a child." "That's right. Ping, lass, you're in the wrong. You're too calculative." Chapter 16-17. Today is an auspicious day for your family to build a new house. Don't make trouble, lass. You're making everyone unhappy and ruining this festive day. That's right. So what if she snatches a piece of candy? What's the big deal? Ping, don't be so calculative. The candy belongs to your family. You can eat as much as you want. Why must you fight with a child? The surrounding villagers were all helping Madam Hu and criticizing Zhao Ping. It was not that they were close to Madam Hu, but they really could not stand Zhao Ping's behavior. Zhao Ping was used to being arrogant and willful. It was difficult for her to yield to her. Ignoring what the surrounding people were saying, Zhao Ping continued to grab Iron Hammer by the collar and scolded him, "Hurry up and hand it over, little brat. Don't be so shameless." Madam Hu slapped her thigh and shouted to the villagers, "Fellow villagers, did you hear that? Ping is already acting like this. How can she be reasonable?" The villagers started to chatter again, criticizing Zhao Ping's behavior. Zhao Ping felt that it was all Madam Hu's big mouth that incited the villagers, so she glared at Madam Hu. A warning voice sounded, "Damned old hag, you'd better go overboard. Otherwise, I'll deal with you too." Oh my, did everyone hear that? This Ping even said that she'll deal with me too. Is this how you treat your elders? What kind of bad luck did old Zhao's family have to give birth to such a lass? Zhao Ping frowned. She already had a bad reputation for taking advantage of others. After Madam Hu made such a fuss, she reckoned that she would be criticized even more in the future. Thus, she felt like she had nowhere to vent her anger. Hearing the commotion and Liang Jinxiao clearly saw the whole situation from the side, he knew that Zhao Ping had indeed gone overboard. No matter what, Iron Hammer was still a child. If he snatched a piece of candy, then let him snatch it. It wasn't like he had another piece of candy to eat. But Zhao Ping refused to let go of the hammer. Now, with such a ruckus, the third branch was seen as a joke by others. Seeing that Zhao Ping didn't intend to let go of the hammer, Madame Hu's eyes fell on Liang Jinxiao. She scolded Liang Jinxiao, third niece-in-law, "Why are you still in a daze? Why don't you hurry up and persuade Ping? I don't know why your family members are fighting over the candy scattered by your own family. Weren't they usually snatched by outsiders? This is the first time the village has encountered such a thing." After Liang Jinxiao heard this, he felt a little embarrassed and smiled at Madame Hu. Then, he walked over to Zhao Ping, and persuaded Zhao Ping, Ping, hurry up and let go of the hammer. Let's just forget about this matter. Zhao Pinger curled her lips, her face filled with displeasure. Why should I? Mother, I don't agree. I won't let go. This child, later on, ask Yun, to bring you more candy to eat. Don't be so calculative with Iron Hammer. No, mother, this little brat is very unreasonable. I can't stand seeing him like this. Liang Jinxiao sighed and felt a little tired. Ping, if you say let it go, then let it go. Don't make a fuss. If you continue to make a fuss, mother will be angry. Zhao Ping was silent for a moment, as if she was thinking about Liang Jinxiao's words. She felt that Liang Jinxiao was just bluffing and there was no need to pay attention to him. Chapter 16-18. Liang Jinxiao choked on Zhao Ping's words and her eyes were filled with disappointment. She had been serving Zhao Ping all these days. How could Zhao Ping not know? How could she say such words? It was really too sad. This girl was probably too naive. No matter how good she was to her, she wouldn't know. Ping, girl, it's not that I'm biased, but why are you making such a fuss on such a festive day? There are so many people here. Aren't you afraid of being laughed at? How old are you? There are some things that you should understand. Why are you still letting me talk to you? Zhao Ping wanted to say something, but she was interrupted by Liang Jinxiao. Hurry up and let go of Tai Chui. If you continue to make a fuss, you can go back to your in-laws' house. Even your maternal family can't keep you. When Zhao Ping heard that she was going back to her in-laws' house, Liang Jinxiao's attitude was still very firm. His face was cold and he didn't seem to be joking. Zhao Ping hesitated. She thought that if she went back to her in-laws' house, she wouldn't have so many good days. After all, Liang Jinxiao would provide good food and drink at her maternal family's house. Her life would be much more comfortable than at her in-laws' house. After hesitating for a while, Zhao Ping released Tai Chui's collar. However, before she let go of Tai Chui, she warned him, "You little brat, don't let me see you next time. Otherwise, I'll skin you alive." Tai Chui was so scared that he quickly rushed behind Madame Hu and complained, "Grandmother, look, this ugly monster is so fierce. He even threatened me." Madame Hu snorted and said, "With grandmother here, he wouldn't dare to do anything to you." Yes, yes. Tai Chui nodded heavily. He believed that with Madame Hu here, no one would bully him. As for Zhao Ping, she ran away from her unscathed. Tai Chui proudly stuck out his tongue at Zhao Ping. Zhao Ping was infuriated at first glance, but when she thought of Liang Jinxiao's words, she couldn't argue with Iron Hammer. In any case, the next time he saw Iron Hammer, he would definitely beat him up. When Madame Hu saw the hammer in front of her, she was still unhappy with Zhao Ping, so she continued to chatter. "I say, third niece-in-law, the children in the family should be properly disciplined. Don't be so immature at their age. If others see them, they will say that our old Zhao family has no manners. You've embarrassed old Zhao's family. Liang Jinxiao pursed his lips and replied, Auntie, you're right. I'll take note of that. Madame Hu snorted, it's good that you know. After saying that, Madame Hu took the hammer and left. Since they had finished snatching the candies, there was no reason for them to stay. Zhao Ping angrily walked over to Liang Jinxiao and said to Liang Jinxiao, Mother, look at her. That face of hers. Liang Jinxiao glared at Zhao Ping and said, Shut up and stop talking. Don't you find it embarrassing? Zhao Ping swallowed the words that she wanted to say. She saw Liang Jinxiao's frightening expression. If she said another word, Liang Jinxiao would probably fly into a rage. The surrounding villagers were still joining in the fun. Feng Zhangxia had managed to snatch some candies and was satisfied. However, because there were so many people, on average, each person did not manage to snatch a lot of candies. She only wanted to let her children have a taste of the candies. Now that the commotion over Zhao Ping's matter was over, the villagers started to talk about Zhao Yun's house again. Feng Zhangxia saw that Zhao Wenhua seemed to have kept some candies after scattering them. She started to think about the candies in Zhao Wenhua's hands. Chapter 16-19. Ah, third brother, today is your family's big day. Congratulations. Feng Zhangxia said with a smile. Zhao Wenhua also smiled and replied, Thank you, sister-in-law. Third brother, look. So many people came today to join in the fun. Your third branch is really proud. You built such a big house. Everyone in the village is envious of you. Zhao Wenhua's face also revealed a proud smile. The house is really big, but it's all thanks to Yun-er. Otherwise, how could Yun-er's mother and I get so much money to build the house? Feng Zhangxia smiled and replied, That's right. Yun is really capable. She's the most capable person in old Zhao's family. Zhao Wenhua laughed heartily. Sister-in-law, don't just praise Yun-er. If we're talking about capability, who in old Zhao's family is more capable than Tianlong? When Tianlong's child becomes a provincial official in the autumn examination, he can become an official. Then, you'll be the wife of an official. In our village, only you have this good fortune. Don't you think so, sister-in-law? Speaking up to this point, Feng Zhangxia also felt proud, and a proud smile appeared on her face. When it came to their family's Tianlong, there was indeed no one more capable than Zhao Tianlong. Of course, this still had to wait. She could only show off when Zhao Tianlong really passed the examination. Otherwise, she would definitely be laughed at by others. They're all capable. It's all old Zhao's good fortune. That's right. Zhao Wenhua sighed. Feng Zhangxia stared at the candy in Zhao Wenhua's hand. Third brother, can you give me some of your candy? I'll give it to my Yang when we get back. Zhao Wenhua hesitated for a moment. He was too embarrassed to refuse, so he grabbed a handful and gave it to Feng Zhangxia. Sister-in-law, Daodu and Tianfu still have to eat the rest. Tianyu didn't come today. You have to give some to Tianyu later. Feng Zhangxia replied, Okay, that's good. It was enough to give her a handful of candies. Anyway, it was a profit. At this time, not far away, many old ladies from the village surrounded Hua Chunhua and said, Aunt Hua, you are really lucky. You can live in such a big house later, right? Yes. Auntie Hua, I really envy you for being able to live in such a big house. All of us are working hard for the sake of the younger generation. Only you are the most fortunate. How many people would be envious if they could enjoy a good life in their later years? Hua Chunhua's expression immediately turned ugly when she heard that. Feng Zhangxia saw Hua Chunhua's eyes and knew what Hua Chunhua was thinking. She pulled Zhao Wenhua to Hua Chunhua and said, Mother, tell third brother to move a room for you and father to live in. Zhao Wenhua was stunned and didn't understand what Feng Zhangxia meant. Sister-in-law. What are you talking about? Zhao Wenhua asked weakly. Hua Chunhua was too embarrassed to say anything, so she gave Feng Zhangxia a look. Feng Zhangxia smiled and explained, "Third brother, look at how big your house is and how many rooms there are. Why don't you move a room for father and mother to live in? Father and mother are old. At their age, living in a big house must be much more comfortable. Third brother, mother always talks about how filial you are. Now that your third branch has a big house, you should naturally bring father and mother to enjoy life together. You can't let them live in that rundown house, right?" Chapter 16:20. Actually, he had never thought of letting Hua Chunhua and Zhao Baoshan move in together. After all, Zhao Yun was the one who paid for the house, and Zhao Yun only said that the third branch would move in. She did not mention Zhao Baoshan and Hua Chunhua. In addition, their old Zhao family had split up, and now they were living their own lives. How could they still live together? He could not make the decision on this matter. If Hua Chunhua and Zhao Baoshan really wanted to move in, they had to get Zhao Yun's permission first. Zhao Wenhua hesitated and did not know what to say. Feng Zhangxia hurriedly said, "I say, third brother, isn't it just a matter of one house? Your third branch's family has so many rooms, and you definitely won't be able to fill them all. What's wrong with giving one room to your parents? Don't tell me you don't want your parents to live in an empty house. Sigh, my family doesn't have money. Otherwise, your eldest brother and I would definitely bring our parents to live in such a good house." Zhao Wenhua was a little embarrassed by Feng Zhangxia's words. His sister-in-law had not built a house yet, so it was easy for her to say it. If she really built a house, he did not know what would happen. However, his family would build a house first and wait for Zhao Baoshan and Hua Chunhua to move in. Then, his sister-in-law would continue building. Those two old people could not move from one big house to another, and they would not live with the first branch. However, Feng Zhangxia's words made him look too unfilial as a son. His parents had raised him up with great difficulty, and in the end, he could live in a big house and enjoy life, but he did not bring his parents along. But, sister-in-law. Zhao Wenhua was about to explain something, but when Hua Chunhua saw Zhao Wenhua's unhappy expression, she angrily interrupted Zhao Wenhua and reprimanded Zhao Wenhua. "Third brother, you are an unfilial son. When you were young, you were raised by your mother's feces and urine. When you grew up, you completely forgot about your mother, right?" When the villagers heard this, they also scolded Zhao Wenhua. What? So old Zhao's third branch did not let Aunt Hua and Uncle Zhao live there? How can this be? Such a big house, as a son, shouldn't he bring his parents to live in it? If I gave birth to such an unfilial son who built a big house and didn't let me live in it, I would definitely break his legs later. How can people lose their hearts when they have money? Have they forgotten who raised him? Hearing the criticism around him, Zhao was a little. If word spread like this, wouldn't he become the representative of the village's unfilial son? Zhao Yunlong became more and more embarrassed. After thinking for a while, he could only say, "Mother, it's not that I don't want to bring you and father to live together. It's just that this house isn't mine to begin with. It's Yun who paid for it. This title deed and house deed are all written in Yun's name. Whoever she wants to live in can live in. Yun's mother and I can't make the decision." Hua Chunhua glared at Zhao Wenhua. "Third brother, isn't this an excuse? This girl is your daughter. Don't tell me she doesn't listen to you as her father. I don't believe that she will say no if you say yes." "Of course I say no." Zhao Yun's cold voice drifted over. Seeing that Zhao Wenhua was being bullied, if she didn't stand up for Zhao Wenhua now, wouldn't she just let him be bullied? Chapter 16:21. When she was living a hard life, she didn't see old Zhao's family helping her. Now that the third branch could live a comfortable life, why should she bring others to enjoy it with her? What did they do? Feng Zhangxia pretended to be a good person and said, Yuner, you can't be like this. After all, your grandmother is your grandmother and your elder. Now that you can live in a big house, you should bring her with you. When you're old, you can't stand the torment. Let your grandfather and grandmother live in a big house in their later years and enjoy some happiness. The surrounding people echoed, that's right. What's wrong with bringing elders to live in such a big house? After all, it's still empty. As a family, you should be more filial. Yuner, don't be too stingy. Bring the two elders to live with you. Seeing that the villagers tied this matter to morality, if she didn't bring Zhao Baoshan and Hua Chunhua to live with her, she would probably be labeled by the villagers. However, there were too many situations like this. Zhao Yuner didn't care what others said. Anyway, she wouldn't agree or give in. Eldest aunt, it's easy for you to say that. Back then, I was chased out of old Zhao's family. You know how much I suffered. At that time, you didn't care about me and even stabbed me in the back, making my life more difficult. Why didn't I see you do anything? Now that I'm living in a big house, it has nothing to do with old Zhao's family. Why should I bring my grandfather and grandmother to live with me? Besides, after we separated from the family, I established a female household. You didn't want to have anything to do with me in the first place. Now that you see that I'm living a good life, you eagerly come over. Zhao Yuner said mercilessly. Hearing this, Feng Zhangxia felt a little embarrassed, and Hua Chunhua's face turned red with anger. The surrounding villagers with a conscience still said something fair, Yuner's words aren't unreasonable. At that time, old Zhao's family went too far. Yuner suffered a lot. That's right. Yuner really didn't have it easy. It wasn't easy for her to get to where she is today. He remembered that there was a year when he almost starved to death. Fortunately, the people in the village helped him. Otherwise, he would have lost his life. At that time, old Zhao's family didn't do anything. They were stingy and didn't care about Yuner at all. There's nothing wrong with what Yuner is doing now. Previously, old Zhao's family had gone too far. In reality, there were too few people who repaid evil with good. Therefore, everyone could understand Zhao Yuner's actions. They didn't catch Zhao Yuner to criticize Zhao Yuner anymore. Hua Chunhua was unwilling, but she couldn't say anything. However, she was still unhappy that she wasn't able to live in Zhao Yuner's big house. Feng Zhangxia didn't think much of it. She just thought that if Zhao Tianlong became rich in the future, Hua Chunhua and Zhao Baoshan wouldn't still want to live with the first branch, right? She was naturally unwilling. If she lived with them, wouldn't it mean that the first branch had to take care of the two old people? They were already separated from the family, so what was the point? Most importantly, she didn't like Hua Chunhua. The old woman was usually very talkative and liked to point fingers. She used her status as a mother-in-law to order her to do this and that. If she didn't do a good job, she would be scolded. It was better not to live with them. Chapter 1622. Feng Zhangxia was thinking that if she could persuade Hua Chunhua to build her own house, Hua Chunhua would definitely not live with the eldest branch after she built her own house. When Zhao Tianlong passed the provincial examination, she would not have to worry about Hua Chunhua making a fuss and living with them. Hua Chunhua frowned. Build your own house? Yes. Build your own house. Mother, didn't little sister give a lot of betrothal gifts? Why keep so much money and not spend it? You might as well build a house. It won't cost too much. Sometimes, you have to enjoy it. Otherwise, you won't be able to bring it with you when you die. Who will you save all that money for? You and father are getting old. Who knows how many more years you can enjoy it? Hua Chunhua's face darkened when she heard this. She started scolding Feng Zhangxia, eldest daughter-in-law, how can you say that? Are you cursing your father and I to die? How can you talk like that? Feng Zhangxia suddenly realized that she had let it slip. Although what she said was true, it was taboo for the elderly. Feng Zhangxia pursed her lips and smiled embarrassedly. Mother, no, I'm not cursing you and father. I just want to advise you to enjoy it as much as you can now. Don't regret it when you can't. It's fine if you don't have money, but if you have money, why should you save it? Hua Chunhua sighed and said worriedly, you can't say that. You can only be at ease when you have money in your hands. If you spend it, what if you need it urgently in the future and can't take out the money? Feng Zhangxia pursed her lips and smiled. Mother, you can't say that. How can you spend too much money in the future? Moreover, mother, think about it. Little sister married such a rich man. If you really don't have money, can't you just look for little sister? Hua Chunhua was silent for a moment. She thought that Feng Zhangxia's words made sense. She had forgotten that she had a daughter who was rich. Thus, she gritted her teeth and said, fine, we'll build a house. That Yun girl is very arrogant and stingy. She likes to haggle over every little thing. Later, I'll build my own house to piss her off. Feng Zhangxia giggled in response. That's right, mother. Building your own house will be so carefree. You don't have to live under someone else's roof. Eldest daughter-in-law, what you said makes sense. I'm already so old, but I can't stand that wretched girl's anger. Later, I'll discuss it with your father and buy a house. Okay, mother. Feng Zhangxia smiled even more happily, seeing that Hua Chunhua was finally convinced by her. Now that the third branch is about to move out, Hua Chunhua and Zhao Baoshan will also have to move out when they build a house. Would have 2 rooms have 2 roomses have a house have a house. Since Zhao Tianhu was about to get married, they definitely had to build a house for Zhao Tianhu's wedding. They couldn't wait for Zhao Tianhu to get married and squeeze in the same house with them. He had to inform Zhao Wenhua and ask Zhao Wenhua to give the empty room to Yun, Er's first branch to be used as Zhao Tianhu's wedding room. Thinking that the matter of the room could be resolved, Feng Zhangxia's original worry dissipated. She had to inform the second and fourth branches before they left, lest the second and third branches snatch it away. Feng Zhangxia hurried to Zhao Wenhua and said to Zhao Wenhua, third brother, eldest sister-in-law has something to discuss with you. Chapter 1623. Feng Zhangxia seemed a little embarrassed as she said, that. Third brother, you know that Tianhu is about to get married. But we don't have that many rooms when we're all living together. Your third branch is about to move out of old Zhao's house and live in such a big house. After you move out, can you give Tianhu's house to use as his wedding room? After Zhao Wenhua heard this, if her sister-in-law hadn't come over to ask for their third branch's house because of Zhao Tianhu, she probably wouldn't have agreed. She thought about how her nephew, Zhao Tianhu, treated her third branch very well and would help them out whenever they needed. Now that Zhao Tianhu was about to get married and lacked a house, and since her third branch was about to move out, it wasn't impossible to give a house to Zhao Tianhu. Zhao Wenhua thought for a moment before nodding and saying, eldest sister-in-law, that's fine. After we move out, the room will be used as Tianhu's wedding room. After hearing Zhao Wenhua's words, Feng Zhangxia happily thanked him and said, third brother, thank you so much. Our Tianhu's wedding room problem is finally solved. Otherwise, I don't know how to get a house for him. Zhao Wenhua's mouth twitched. Eldest sister-in-law, you don't have to thank me. I'm not doing this for your sake. It's Tianhu who finally got married. As his uncle, I naturally have to help if I can. Feng Zhangxia's face was full of smiles. Then I still have to thank third brother. When we go back, help Tianhu decorate. Hee, the 2 children's wedding day is approaching. We have to prepare well. Zhao Wenhua responded, yes, we have to prepare. The sooner we marry the girl, the sooner we can. But there's something on my mind. Tianhu isn't young anymore. That's right. Feng Zhangxia smiled and agreed. The villagers gathered in front of Zhao Yun'er's house for a while. Seeing that it was almost time for lunch, they began to disperse one by one. Zhao Yun'er looked at the house that had been built. Tomorrow, she would go to the town and bring back all the furniture. After that, she would be able to move in. It had only been 2 days since they moved out of old Zhao's courtyard. When the time came to move into a big house, life would be much better. At the very least, they wouldn't have to squeeze into a small, run-down house. After making do for a period of time, he finally got through it. Zhao Yun'er had purposely added another floor to the brick house to make it into a loft. Therefore, living in such a house would not be as stuffy as living in a small thatched cottage because there was an extra floor above. He would not feel uncomfortable when he had to urinate, defecate, or heat stroke. As for tomorrow, after the furniture was brought back and the decorations were done, she would invite her family to have a banquet to celebrate. There was no need to invite anyone else for the banquet. Old Zhao's family was enough. This was the custom of the countryside. Liang Jinxiao and Zhao Wenhua had mentioned it before. It was not difficult to organize a simple banquet. She just had to buy more side dishes to maintain the meal. There was no need for the dishes to be too good. Some fish was already considered a sumptuous meal. The house was empty and there was nothing to see. Zhao Yun'er called Zhao Wenshui and Liang Jinxiao back. On the way back, Zhao Ping'er looked at Zhao Yun'er with hidden bitterness. She wished she could rush up and fight with Zhao Yun'er. She also knew that she had not fully recovered from her injuries. It was probably impossible for her to deal with Zhao Yun'er. She could only grit her teeth and endure it. Chapter 1624. Since Liang Jinxiao ignored her, Zhao Ping panicked. Zhao Ping chased after Liang Jinxiao and asked, "Mother, are you still angry with me because of what happened just now?" "Mother, don't be angry with me. This matter is not my fault alone. Wasn't it that brat Tiechue who snatched it from me? Mother, look, I fell on my buttocks again. It hurts so much. I think it tore my wound." As Zhao Ping spoke, she tugged at Liang Jinxiao's sleeve and looked at Liang Jinxiao with an aggrieved expression. If it weren't for the fact that there were people around, she would have taken off her pants and exposed her buttocks for Liang Jinxiao to take a look. She wasn't lying. She was seriously injured. Liang Jinxiao glanced at Zhao Ping-er. Zhao Ping-er's words still showed no signs of repentance. Liang Jinxiao felt that she had done nothing wrong. This made Liang Jinxiao feel very tired. What she feared the most was Zhao Ping-er's unrepentant attitude. How could she forgive her easily if she didn't even know what she had done wrong? This girl, she had spoiled her too much and treated her too well. That was why she had developed such an insensible character. Sometimes, she didn't know what she should do and what she shouldn't do. You should reflect on yourself. Liang Jinxiao pulled her sleeve out of Su-er's hand. Zhao Ping-er was stunned. She didn't expect Liang Jinxiao to be serious with her. Looking at the situation, Liang Jinxiao wouldn't be able to recover in a short time. Zhao Ping-er pursed her lips and said, "Mother." Liang Jinxiao took a deep breath and said to Zhao Ping-er, "In 2 days, our third branch will move to the big house. At that time, it will be inconvenient for you to live there. After all, this house was built by Yun-er. You two sisters like to quarrel when you are together. If you quarrel later, it will affect the harmony. You've almost fully recovered these days. Mother thinks you can go back to your in-laws' home." Liang Jinxiao meant that he wanted to drive Zhao Ping away. Zhao Ping did not expect that Liang Jinxiao would take the initiative to chase her away. She hadn't enjoyed enough of this good life yet. She wouldn't be so happy if she returned to her in-laws' home. Zhao Ping-er pursed her lips and said to Liang Jinxiao, "Mother, I haven't recovered from my injury yet. I don't know when I'll recover. I haven't lived in such a good house yet." What's wrong with letting me live there for a while? After hearing Zhao Ping's words, Liang Jinxiao hardened his heart and said, that won't do. You haven't lived there before. Go back and save up money to build a house. This is Yun's house. Even father and mother can't bring you to live there. Tomorrow, you can pack up and go back to your in-laws' home. Liang Jinxiao knew very well that if Zhao Ping and Zhao Yun lived together, there would be chaos. Moreover, Zhao Ping was insensible. Who knew what kind of trouble she would cause? It was better to let Zhao Ping go back to her in-laws' home early so that she wouldn't cause trouble later. During this period, Zhao Ping had almost fully recovered from her injury. It shouldn't be a big deal when she returned to her in-laws' home. Zhao Ping wanted to say something, but she was interrupted by Liang Jinxiao. All right, Ping you don't have to say anything. It's settled then. Zhao Ping was reluctant, but Liang Jinxiao was insistent. This was the first time his attitude was so unyielding. There was nothing she could do. She could only say, all right then. Mother, but I'm going back tomorrow. You have to cook a good meal for me today, right? I don't know how long I'll have to wait before I come back. Chapter 1625. Upon hearing Zhao Ping's words, Liang Jinxiao frowned. She had indeed promised Zhao Ping that she would kill a big rooster and fry it for her to eat. However, Zhao Ping had been bitten by Little Hay and caused a commotion, so the matter was left unsettled. She had not thought of killing a rooster for Zhao Ping to eat during this period of time. Now, Zhao Ping had actually brought it up again. Liang Jinxiao was silent for a moment, unwilling to do so. She was still a little angry when she thought of the commotion Zhao Ping had caused today. This girl better not be too nice to her. Zhao Ping continued to stare at Liang Jinxiao eagerly and coaxed Liang Jinxiao, Mother, I'm leaving tomorrow, so please don't be so calculative with me. When I return to my in-laws' house, I won't have such good food to eat, so I'll definitely miss our family's food. Mother, can't you satisfy me before I leave? Liang Jinxiao did not say anything. Zhao Ping tugged at Liang Jinxiao again and said, Mother, you can't go back on your word. Seeing Zhao Ping pestering her like this, Liang Jinxiao felt a little helpless. She knew that if Zhao Ping did not get to eat, she would probably make a fuss again. Thinking that Zhao Ping would be leaving tomorrow, this rooster would be a farewell gift for Zhao Ping. Zhao Ping would definitely not have anything good to eat when she returned to her in-laws' house, so her life would be miserable. Liang Jinxiao sighed and said, all right then, Ping, girl, I'll catch a big rooster for you to eat tomorrow. Mother, aren't we going to have a chicken dinner tomorrow when we enter the house? If there's something else to eat, why would we eat a big rooster? Liang Jinxiao frowned and said to Zhao Ping, what do you mean? If you don't know how to eat rooster and leave, what chance do you have to eat it? Zhao Ping licked her lips and replied with a grin, Mother, why don't we eat it today? It just so happens that there aren't any good dishes today. Because the men who had been working had finished their work and gone back. When the workers were here, the third branch had to prepare some good dishes. Now that the workers were gone, the third branch naturally didn't have to prepare such a sumptuous meal. At noon, he casually prepared some food to deal with it. The quality of the food immediately dropped by a lot. Zhao Ping missed the days when the workers were still around. At least she could eat a lot every day and live a happy life. Thinking about all kinds of delicious dishes, Zhao Ping could feel her mouth watering. Then, she couldn't help but swallow. Liang Jinxiao said, Ping, girl, how can we roast a big rooster today? We let the rooster out in the morning when we woke up. Where can we catch a chicken and roast it? Mother, I'll go back and look for it later. When I find it, I can catch it and roast it, right? Can you catch it? Mother, if I can't catch it, then I won't eat it. But if I catch it, you have to cook it for me tonight, okay? Alright then. If you can catch it, I'll cook it for you tonight. If not, we'll talk about it later. Okay. Zhao Ping agreed eagerly. When she thought of the fragrance of the braised rooster, she craved it even more. Even if she was going home, it was a good thing that she could eat a good meal before going home. Otherwise, when she thought of the family Qin food, Zhao Ping would stay at old Zhao's house and refuse to leave. Life had been difficult these days. She hadn't been able to earn money in Sun City. Her body couldn't take it anymore, and Ma Xiaofan also had to stay at home to recuperate. They could only set up a stall to sell breakfast in Sun City after both of them had recovered. Chapter 1626. Zhao Ping was worried that not only would the family Qin refuse to serve her, but they would also mock and ridicule her. Their attitude would be very bad. If that happened, how would she be able to live happily in the family Qin? The thing she hoped for the most now was for her and Ma Xiaofan to get better quickly. Then, she could set up a stall in Yang City to sell breakfast and earn more money back. After talking to Zhao Ping, Liang Jinxiao did not continue to talk to Zhao Ping. His attitude remained cold and indifferent. Zhao Yun walked to the side. When she saw Liang Jinxiao's attitude, she had some thoughts in her mind. It seemed that her mother was dissatisfied with Zhao Ping. Her attitude was much worse than before. If something else happened, Liang Jinxiao would probably be even more disappointed in Zhao Ping. Not only would he have a cold attitude towards Zhao Ping, but he might also ignore Zhao Ping. Zhao Yun naturally hoped that they would not interact with each other for the rest of their lives. However, what could make Liang Jinxiao so estranged from Zhao Ping? It had to be something big. Zhao Yun rubbed her chin and thought for a while. Unfortunately, she could not think of anything at the moment. However, the change in Liang Jinxiao's attitude towards Zhao Ping had already made Zhao Yun feel gratified. She believed that as long as she gave some advice to Liang Jinxiao would definitely understand. As for Zhao Ping, she eagerly rushed back to old Zhao's house and looked for the rooster around old Zhao's house. Once she found it, she had to catch it to bring it back and cook it. Most of the chickens in the countryside were free-range. Sometimes, there was not much food for the chickens to eat. If the chickens were released, they could find some wild vegetables and insects to eat. This way, they could save a lot of food. Moreover, this kind of chicken would taste very delicious. When Zhao Yun came to ancient times, the only thing she was happy about was that she could eat a lot of natural food in ancient times. Whether it was vegetables or poultry, they were all far more delicious than those of the 21st century. Zhao Ping looked around old Zhao's house and finally found the rooster raised by the third branch. At this time, the rooster was under the wooden basin, together with a few hens. Its head was down, and its beak was pecking at the ground, as if it was looking for food. Zhao Ping's eyes lit up when she saw the rooster. She slowly approached the rooster, preparing to catch it. Because she was afraid that the rooster would run away, Zhao Ping tried her best not to disturb the rooster. Just as he was about to reach the rooster heard the noise and prepared to flee. Zhao Ping was afraid that if the rooster ran away, she would be caught again, so she rushed towards the rooster. The rooster opened its wings and flew away, avoiding Zhao Ping's grab. Zhao Ping didn't catch the rooster, but she did a somersault and fell heavily to the ground. She ate a mouthful of dirt with her head down. Pay pay pay. Zhao Ping hurriedly spat out a few times, spitting out the dirt in her mouth. After being tormented like this, Zhao Ping was a little angry and cursed, "Why am I so unlucky today? Everyone is bullying me. Now even a rooster is going against me. I have to catch it, pluck all its feathers, and braise it to eat." With some difficulty, Zhao Ping got up from the ground. She used her sleeve to wipe her face, and her gaze fell on the rooster not far away. The rooster seemed to have sensed danger, and its footsteps were very messy, as if it didn't know where to go. Chapter 1627. However, to Zhao Ping's disappointment, when she pounced on it again, the rooster ran away again. The rooster seemed to have received a huge shock, and it flew up to the tree branch. Looking at the tall tree, Zhao Ping stood under it, her heart filled with despair. She couldn't catch it on the ground, and now that the rooster had flown up the tree, it was even more impossible to catch it. Zhao Ping couldn't help but vent her anger. Standing under the tree, she scolded, "You stinky chicken, hurry up and come down. If you don't come down, I'm going to climb up there." Hearing Zhao Ping's dangerous words, the rooster couldn't understand. However, Zhao Ping's voice was very loud, and it frightened the rooster. The rooster crowed incessantly on the tree. Zhao Ping became even angrier. "I told you to come down, but you didn't listen. What are you chirping about? Do you think I'll let you go and not eat you if you keep chirping like that? Let me tell you, don't even think about it. If you come down earlier, I can make you suffer a little more. Otherwise, when I catch you, I'll slowly torture you to death." The rooster cried out a few more times on the tree. At this moment, there was no one watching. If there was someone watching, they would probably think that Zhao Ping was crazy. How could an animal understand what she was talking about? The result of an animal not being able to understand human language was that any kind of terrifying threat would be useless. Zhao Ping stood under the tree angrily. "You stinky chicken, you're not being kind. Do you think you'll be fine after hiding from me on the tree? Hee, let me tell you, I'll catch you today. If you don't come down, I'll guard this tree until you come down. I don't believe that you can stay on the tree forever." At this time, Liang Jinxiao saw that Zhao Ping hadn't come back for a while, so he went out to look for Zhao Ping. Although he was angry at Zhao Ping, he thought that Zhao Ping was pregnant. If the child in her belly was hurt, it would be a big problem. When he found Zhao Ping, he saw Zhao Ping standing under the tree. The rooster was on the tree, and it was crying out as if it was greatly frightened. Liang Jinxiao saw this situation and frowned. He said to Zhao Ping, "Since the rooster has run up the tree, I don't think we can catch it today. Let's forget it." Zhao Ping felt that Liang Jinxiao must be reluctant to let the rooster go. She was afraid that if she missed this opportunity, it wouldn't be easy to eat it next time. She stubbornly refused. "No, mother, I must catch this chicken today." Liang Jinxiao saw that Zhao Ping began to be willful again, and he was displeased. "You child, why do you have to be so stubborn? You can't catch it, but you still want to catch it. It's a waste of effort." Zhao Ping pursed her lips and said, "Mother, it's a waste of effort. It's my effort that's wasted, not yours. What are you worried about?" Liang Jinxiao found that he couldn't win against Zhao Ping. This child just wouldn't listen to him. No matter how much he said, it would be useless, so he might as well not say anything. He calmly replied to Zhao Ping, "If you want to catch it, then catch it." Even if Zhao Ping insisted and waited to catch it, Zhao Ping wouldn't be able to catch it. After all, the rooster had flown up the tree. How could Zhao Ping catch it? Okay. Chapter 1628. Zhao Ping waited for quite a while, and she was getting impatient. "You stinky chicken, I told you to come down. Did you hear me? That's not a favor." Zhao Ping scolded angrily. The rooster on the tree continued to caw at Zhao Ping. Zhao Ping felt that it wasn't a good idea to continue waiting like this. If the rooster continued to stay on the tree, how long would she have to wait? It was quite tiring for her to stand guard under the tree. Zhao Ping frowned. She stared at the rooster on the tree and thought for a while. In the end, she said, "Fine, if you don't want to come down, I have plenty of ways to make you come down." As she spoke, Zhao Ping picked up a stone from the ground and threw it at the tree. If she couldn't make the rooster come down, she could at least throw the stone at it. Zhao Ping threw the stone at the rooster. As expected, when the rooster saw the stone falling towards it, it was so frightened that it shook its wings. However, it didn't come down from the tree. The rooster was probably very smart. It knew that if it came down from the tree, it would be worse than staying on the tree. Zhao Ping would definitely chase after it. Zhao Ping continued to pick up a few more stones and threw them at the tree. The rooster nimbly dodged them. Zhao Ping was a little annoyed. She couldn't get the rooster to come down after throwing so many stones. What should she do? Just as Zhao Ping was in a daze, a black, sticky thing suddenly fell from the tree. This thing fell on Zhao Ping's face. Zhao Ping touched her face. When her hand came into contact with the sticky thing, her brows tightly knitted together. She quickly used her sleeve to wipe her face. She rubbed her hand on the ground to get rid of the sticky thing. However, when she smelled it again, it still smelled bad. Zhao Ping felt a wave of nausea rising from her stomach. She retched and cursed at the rooster on the tree. "Smelly chicken, you've got guts. You actually dared to shit on me. I think you're tired of living. Come down, hurry up and come down." Zhao Ping stomped her feet angrily under the tree, but there was nothing she could do. He had scolded him and smashed him with rocks, but the rooster still refused to come down. Zhao Ping thought for a moment, then pointed at the big rooster and said, "Just you wait. I'll climb up and catch you now. Let's see where you can run to." With that, Zhao Ping rolled up her sleeves and prepared to climb the tree. As a child, Zhao Ping often climbed trees, so she had some skills in climbing trees. However, after she grew up, she did not continue to climb trees. With the foundation battle experience from when she was a child, she should not be too bad at climbing trees. Zhao Ping tried to climb. Although it was a bit difficult, after climbing halfway, Zhao Ping suddenly fell down. The tree trunk was still a bit slippery. In addition, Zhao Ping's body was heavy, so she slid down from the tree. She wanted to climb up again, but she could not climb up again. This fall was not light. It hurt so much that Zhao Ping gritted her teeth. Today, she did not catch the rooster. Instead, she got injured all over. It was really not worth it. Zhao Pingers but was already seriously injured when she fell to the ground because of Wuxia's push. This time, it was one disaster after another. Zhao Pinger was in so much pain that a layer of cold sweat appeared on her forehead. "I'm so angry. I'm so angry." Zhao Ping struggled to get up and cursed. Chapter 1629. Zhao Ping staggered back. With every step she took, she felt the wound on her buttocks tug painfully. This was even more unbearable than when Xiao He had bitten her. The most painful part was that the original wound had not healed yet. Now, the wound was getting worse. Now, not only was it painful, but there was also a heart-wrenching itch in the midst of the pain. Zhao Ping felt really uncomfortable. "Mother, mother," Zhao Ping yelled for Liang Jinxiao the moment she returned to old Zhao's courtyard. Usually, whenever she had a minor illness or pain, she would count on Liang Jinxiao to take care of her. This time was no exception. When she arrived at old Zhao's courtyard, Zhao Yun also came over. Zhao Yun and Liang Jinxiao were busy working together. The two of them were chattering away, but she did not know what they were talking about. When she got closer, she heard that Zhao Yun was going to organize a banquet tomorrow and was discussing with Liang Jinxiao about tomorrow's matters. The two of them were talking and laughing, not paying attention to her at all. Zhao Ping looked at Liang Jinxiao in dissatisfaction. She had called out so many times, but Liang Jinxiao did not respond to her at all. Instead, he was talking and laughing with Zhao Yun. Zhao Ping leaned over and complained to Liang Jinxiao, "Mother, I called out to you, why did you ignore me?" Liang Jinxiao raised his eyebrows and glanced at Zhao Ping. He replied indifferently, "I didn't hear you call out to me just now." "Why did you call out to me?" Zhao Ping pouted and said aggrievedly, "Mother, you don't care about me at all. You only know how to talk to Yun. I shouted so loudly, but you didn't even hear me." Liang Jinxiao said unhappily, "Ping, how can you say that? Mother really didn't hear you. I didn't do it on purpose." "Mother." Zhao Ping felt even more aggrieved. She pointed at her buttocks and said, "Mother, my buttocks are hurt. It hurts so much. I think the wound has split open." Liang Jinxiao frowned for a moment. He was not as concerned about Zhao Ping as before. Instead, he asked, "Why did you hurt your buttocks?" Zhao Ping lowered her head and muttered, "Mother, it's all because I wanted to catch that stinky chicken. I was going to climb up the tree to catch it. Who knew that I would fall down the tree halfway and hit my buttocks? Today, young mistress pushed me and I fell down. These two falls added together, so my buttocks." Liang Jinxiao looked at Zhao Ping with disappointment. "I said that you deserved it. I told you not to catch it, but you didn't listen. Look at what happened now. You hurt your buttocks too." "Mother, that stinky chicken pooped on my face, so I climbed up the tree to catch it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have caught it. It's all that stinky chicken's fault. Mother, you can't just blame me." Liang Jinxiao shook her head helplessly. She did not know how to reprimand her daughter. It was bad enough that she argued with a child just now. Now, she was arguing with a chicken. She did not know what she would argue with later. Every time she tried to persuade her, she would stubbornly insist on doing things her own way. When she suffered, she would complain in front of her. What could she do? If she had listened to her, things would not have turned out this way. "Don't talk to me anymore. If you're hurt, you can deal with it yourself. But I'm not a doctor. What can I do?" Liang Jinxiao said coldly and ignored Zhao Ping. Mother. Chapter 1630. Mother. Why don't you care about me at all? I've already become like this. Mother. After Zhao Ping called out a few times, Liang Jinxiao didn't continue to pay attention to Zhao Ping. Zhao Yun looked at Zhao Ping and then looked at Liang Jinxiao. Seeing that Liang Jinxiao lowered his head and steeled his heart to ignore Zhao Ping, his attitude was very firm. Compared to his previous gentle temperament, there were some changes. Of course, this was something worth celebrating for Zhao Yun. If Liang Jinxiao continued to be obedient to Zhao Ping, she didn't know what Zhao Ping would do to him in the future. If this continued, it wouldn't be a good thing for her. After all, if Liang Jinxiao happened to live with her in the future, what would be the point of dragging Zhao Ping along? After Zhao Ping called out a few times, she was so angry that she stomped her feet. Mother, how can you be like this? Zhao Yun's mouth curved into a smile, and she said sarcastically, Ping, Jia, what you said is really heartless. Don't tell me that mother doesn't care enough about you. This time, you looked for trouble and hurt yourself. What can I do to you? Could it be that your butt is injured and you want mother to treat your wound? Or do you want Nyang Nyang to do something for you? Zhao Ping, angrily glared at Zhao Yun, and then reprimanded Zhao Yun, Zhao Yun, don't get in the middle and sow discord between me and mother. I'm just speaking the truth. Ping, Jia, you're already an adult, but you're still making people worry. Every day, you make mother do this and that for you. Which married daughter would rely on her maternal family like this? You're probably the only one. Not only are you ungrateful, but you're also scolding mother. You're bringing others to judge and see if they're only talking about you. You. Zhao Yun, don't talk nonsense. When did I say that mother is bad? You're deliberately saying this to make mother angry and ignore me, right? Zhao Yun only found it laughable. She scratched her ear, and a faint smile hung on her lips. When did I talk nonsense? Didn't you just say that mother doesn't care about you at all? Mother and I both heard it. Is there something wrong with our ears? After Zhao Yun's words, Liang Jinxiao's frowned. His expression didn't look too good. Think about what Zhao Ping just said. If she did not take care of him properly, she would say that she was in the wrong and did not care. No family's daughter would be like this. Her words really made one feel bitterly disappointed. It seemed that all her efforts didn't fall into Zhao Ping's eyes. Or perhaps, in Zhao Ping's eyes, everything she did was right. The more Liang Jinxiao thought about it, the more bitterly disappointed he felt. Zhao Yun, you. Zhao Ping was so angry that she pointed at Zhao Yun. However, she couldn't argue with Zhao Yun, so she was speechless when Zhao Yun refuted her. Liang Jinxiao's cold voice sounded again. Ping, don't make a fuss. Hurry up and go back to your room. You're making my head hurt. Mother, why aren't you going back? Don't tell me you don't want to eat lunch? Or is your injury not painful enough? Zhao Ping pursed her lips, feeling wronged. I'll go back to my room. Before entering the room, Zhao Ping glared hatefully at Zhao Yun. If Zhao Yun wasn't in front of her mother's heart might have softened. Chapter 1631. Now, the wound on her butt hurt so much that Zhao Ping felt like her flesh was being torn apart. It hurts. What should I do? Zhao Ping muttered. Zhao Yun glanced at Zhao Ping's cowardice and couldn't help but shake her head. No one could stand Zhao Ping. Only Liang Jinxiao, her mother, had the patience to talk to Zhao Ping. Zhao Yun and Liang Jinxiao spoke a few more words. When she was about to go back, she saw Zhao Jin crying secretly in the corner of the room. Zhao Yun walked over and said to Zhao Jin, Sister Jing, what's wrong with you? Seeing Zhao Yun coming over, Zhao Jin wiped her tears with her sleeves and replied to Zhao Yun, no, nothing. Seeing the tears in the corners of Zhao Jin's eyes, Zhao Yun frowned. She was crying, yet she said she was fine. She must have something on her mind. Little sister Jing, did something bad happen? You'll feel better if you tell me. Why don't you tell me? Zhao Jin looked up at Zhao Yun sighed deeply, and said, actually, it's not a big deal. I'm getting married in a few days, but my mother hasn't come back yet. On the day I get married, my mother has to be by my side, right? Otherwise, who can send me off? Hearing Zhao Jin's words, Zhao Yun felt some sympathy for Zhao Jin. It had been a while since she should have left old Zhao's house, but Zhao Wenshui didn't go to Li Chuiying's in-laws' house to pick her up. No wonder Zhao Jing was upset. Zhao Wenshui was usually very lazy and would ask Zhao Jing to take care of him from time to time. Li Chuiying was in old Zhao's house, so at least there was someone to take care of him. Sister Jing, let your father pick it up. Zhao Yun said. Zhao Jinger lowered her head. My father won't go, why not? If your mother doesn't come back, who will cook for him? Speaking of this, Zhao Yun told her about every leftover meal from Liang Jinxiao. After listening, Zhao Yun finally understood. He was wondering how Zhao Wenshui could stand not having anyone to cook for him and serve him. It turned out that his cheap mother had cooked a lot. The third household provided him with good food and drinks every day, so how could Zhao Wenshui possibly think of Li Chuiying? If she wanted Zhao Wenshui to take the initiative to ask Li Chuiying to come back, she would have to ask her mother to cut off Zhao Wenshui's food. Zhao Wenshui would probably have to go to Li Chuiying obediently in a few days. Zhao Yun patted Zhao Jing's shoulder and said, "Sister Jing, don't worry. I have a way to make your mother come back." "Really?" Zhao Jing asked expectantly. "Yes, I should be able to. I have to try." Zhao Jing gratefully tugged at Zhao Yun and said, "Yun thank you." "You're welcome." Zhao Yun smiled. As Zhao Yun spoke, she turned to talk to Liang Jinxiao. Only then did Liang Jinxiao realize the serious consequences of his actions. If he had known, he would not have sent food to Zhao Wenshui. Because of this, his second sister-in-law had not come back for so long. "Yun, I understand. You can go back." "Yes. Mother, no matter what second uncle says, don't be soft-hearted. You must not give him food. After resting for so many days, even the most serious injuries have healed. Don't listen to his excuses." "Yes, yes. Yun, I will remember. Mother, I will go back first." "Okay." Not long after Zhao Yun left old Zhao's courtyard, the third household had finished preparing lunch. Chapter 1632. Usually, when Zhao Wenshui smelled the smell, he knew that the food in the third branch was ready, and Liang Jinxiao would bring the food to him in a while. However, today was different. Zhao Wenshui lay in bed and waited for half an hour, but Liang Jinxiao did not bring the food. His stomach was growling with hunger. Zhao Wenshui impatiently shouted a few words in the room, "Third sister-in-law, third sister-in-law. Third sister-in-law, third sister-in-law, why don't you answer me?" After shouting for a while, Zhao Wenshui did not see Liang Jinxiao come in. In the end, Zhao Wenshui had no choice. He ordered Zhao Jing, who was beside him, and said, "Jing, go to your third aunt's room and shout." "Why didn't she answer me after I shouted for so long?" Zhao Jing was a little reluctant to go and shout for Liang Jinxiao. After hesitating for a while, Zhao Wenshui urged her, "Jing, why are you still in a daze? Go quickly." Zhao Jinger murmured, "Father, haven't you recovered from your injuries? Why don't you go and call for third aunt yourself? Why do you insist on me going?" Zhao Wenshui glared at Zhao Jing, "Why are you so insensible? If I go, won't I be exposed? When your third aunt sees that I've recovered from my injury, will she still send me food? Father, why are you like this? You're already so old, yet you're still lying." Zhao Jing muttered in dissatisfaction. "You wicked girl, what are you talking about? I asked you to go, but you didn't go. Now you're counting on me." Zhao Jing curled her lips, "Father, I'll go, okay?" Zhao Jing was afraid that Zhao Wenshui would nag at her in the room, which would be annoying. Zhao Wenshui stopped talking about Zhao Jing and waved his hand, "Go quickly." Zhao Jing sighed, went to the third branch's room, and called for Liang Jinxiao. After Liang Jinxiao entered the second branch's room, she asked Zhao Wenshui, "Second brother, why did you ask me to come here?" Zhao Wenshui's face suddenly darkened. Liang Jinxiao did not know why he asked her to come here. It seemed that she had completely forgotten. Zhao Wenshui coughed softly and reminded her, "Third sister-in-law, did you forget one thing today?" Liang Jinxiao frowned and rolled her eyes, "What's the matter?" "Second brother, just tell me directly, I can't remember." Zhao Wenshui's mood immediately became even more uncomfortable. Did she have to say it? Couldn't Liang Jinxiao think for herself? "I say, third sister-in-law, did you forget to bring me lunch today? I waited for a long time, but it didn't come. I'm starving. Hurry up and get me something to eat now." Liang Jinxiao smiled awkwardly, "Well, second brother, I'm sorry. I just ate at home, and there are no leftovers, so I can't bring you any more. Hearing Liang Jinxiao's words, Zhao Wenshui was stunned. With a bitter face, he said to Liang Jinxiao, "Third sister, why are you like this? Didn't you promise to bring me food every day when I was recuperating? Why did you bring me food every day? Why did you suddenly stop today?" Chapter 1633. Liang Jinxiao smiled awkwardly and said, "Second brother, I did say that before, but that was when your injuries were not healed. Now that your injuries have healed, you naturally don't need me to give you food." Zhao Wenshui was slightly stunned, and his face turned even uglier. He stuttered back to Liang Jinxiao, "Third sister-in-law, what nonsense are you talking about? When did my injuries heal?" Liang Jinxiao chuckled and said, "Second brother? Your injuries haven't healed yet? But yesterday, I clearly saw you go to the toilet very smoothly. There's nothing wrong with you at all." Zhao Wenshui twitched the corner of his mouth and said, "That's only on the surface. There are still wounds on my body that haven't healed. You can't see them, but in fact, I'm still injured." Second brother, Dr. Sun said that Ping is fine with such serious injuries. Your injuries are much lighter, so how can it be that you haven't healed yet? Besides, I'm moving to Yun's new house in 2 days. When I'm not in old Zhao's courtyard, even if your injuries are really fine, I can't bring you food anymore. I can't travel so far to bring you food, right? Third sister-in-law, you're obviously going back on your words. Zhao Wenshui looked dissatisfied and argued with Liang Jinxiao. Liang Jinxiao didn't want to talk more with Zhao Wenshui. "Second brother, I've taken care of you for so many days. I've done what I should do, so I can't always serve you. Second brother, I think you should bring second sister-in-law back. With second sister-in-law taking care of you, she'll definitely do better than me." With that, Liang Jinxiao ignored Zhao Wenshui and directly left the second branch's room. Looking at Liang Jinxiao's back as he left, Zhao Wenshui was so angry that he couldn't speak for a while. Zhao Jing watched from the side, thinking that her father wouldn't be able to hold on for a few days before bringing her mother back. Third sister-in-law is too much. If she doesn't give me food, then where can I go to get it? Zhao Wenshui stomped his feet. He was very hungry now, and if he didn't eat, he wouldn't be able to stand it. "Father, how is third aunt too much? It's good enough for her to bring you food for so long. Now that your injuries have healed, naturally, you shouldn't rely on third aunt anymore." Zhao Jing couldn't help but speak up. Zhao Wenshui's resentful gaze fell on Zhao Jing. "Why are you siding with an outsider? You only know how to speak for an outsider. Why don't you speak for your father?" Zhao Jing replied with some grievance, "Father, I was just telling the truth. I didn't mean to speak up for third aunt." All right, I'm too lazy to talk to you. Go to your grandma's kitchen and get me something to eat. I'm starving." Zhao Wenshui urged Zhao Jing. Zhao Jing frowned and looked troubled. "Father, I've already had lunch. Grandma didn't have any leftovers. If you want to eat, you have to wait until evening." Zhao Wenshui suddenly broke down. "What? You said your grandma also finished eating? Is she okay at all? It's good to have rice balls to fill the stomach." "Father, there's really no leftovers," Zhao Jing said. Zhao Wenshui's face was bitter as he muttered, "Really, she didn't leave any for me. Then what should I do? When will I be able to eat it at night? What should I do when I'm so hungry? I'm so angry." Chapter 1634. Zhao Wenshui shook his head firmly and said, No, your mother ran away by herself. If I go and pick her up, how embarrassing would that be? If I pick her up later, won't I have to do whatever she wants?" Zhao Jing smiled bitterly and said, "Father, why do you care about face at this time? Mother's return is the most important thing. Father, I don't want to say this, but we can't do without mother. Zhao Wenshui didn't listen to Zhao Jing'er and said, I say, girl, all you care about is your mother. Do you want to anger me to death? Zhao Jing'er saw that Zhao Wenshui was really angry, so she didn't continue. She had to find an opportunity to talk about this matter slowly. Now that Zhao Wenshui didn't listen, it was useless no matter how much she tried to persuade him. Finally, it was night time. Zhao Wenshui, with a hungry stomach, hurriedly urged Hu Chunhua to cook. When people were hungry, it was easy to feel dizzy and dizzy. The feeling of an empty stomach was very uncomfortable. Hu Chunhua saw that Zhao Wenshui was eating with her at this time, so she was very dissatisfied. When the meal was finally ready, she called Zhao Wenshui over to eat. Zhao Wenshui, however, became picky about the food. Mother, why did you put so little oil in this dish? It's tasteless. It's not delicious at all. It's a waste of food. Even if you're saving money, you don't have to be so reluctant, right? And this dish, you only put a little bit of salt. It's too bland. It doesn't taste good in the mouth. I can't swallow it. And this, it wasn't that Hu Chunhua's dishes were worse than usual, but Zhao Wenshui was used to the food sent by Liang Jinxiao. When he came to eat Hu Chunhua's dishes, he couldn't get used to it. After all, the food of the third branch was rich in oil and tasted good. Hu Chunhua's dishes were far inferior. Because of the comparison and the difference, Zhao Wenshui started to be picky about the food while eating. Seeing Zhao Wenshui blabbering on and on, Hu Chunhua was a little annoyed. She replied to Zhao Wenshui unhappily, Wenshui, are you done picking? After being scolded by Hu Chunhua, Zhao Wenshui was shocked. He pouted and said, Mom. I was just saying. I was just telling the truth. His little sister had received so many betrothal gifts when she got married, so why should he save and not spend them? What's wrong with our family eating more delicious food? People should enjoy life. If you don't enjoy it now, you won't be able to enjoy it in a few years. Zhao Wenshui's words meant that he shouldn't bring anything with him when he died. If he had money in his hands, he should enjoy it while it was still early. However, in Hu Chunhua's ears, Zhao Wenshui said that she would die in a few years. Hu Chunhua felt angry when she heard such an unlucky thing. You stinking brat, do you want your mother to die? What good will it do you if I die? You're still thinking about your little sister's betrothal gifts. I saved them, so I can do whatever I want with them. It's good enough that I cooked for you and let you eat, but you're still being picky. Do you think I have to feed you for nothing? Don't come to my place to eat tomorrow. If you don't have anything to eat, it has nothing to do with me even if you starve to death. In any case, I won't serve you anymore. Mom, I. Zhao Wenshui anxiously tried to persuade Hu Chunhua. Mom, this won't do. Where else can I eat besides you? Don't be angry with me. Is that okay? Chapter 1635. Even Zhao Baoshan, who had been silent all this time, said, My son, your mother is right. Don't come here to eat from tomorrow onwards. You can't blame father and mother for not letting you eat. It's just that your second branch has been eating here for a while. If you continue to eat, I think the other branches will be dissatisfied. After all, we are separated from the family. Otherwise, you can bring your family's money and food here to pay for the food. Zhao Wenshui said with a bitter face, Mother, we don't have any food or money. We can't take them out. If you can't take them out, then don't eat. Why do you still want to eat? Mother, seeing that Zhao Wenshui still wanted to make trouble, Zhao Baoshan said with a serious face, That's enough, my son. Don't say any more. If you really can't, bring Jing'er's mother back. You have to live together as a family. You can't always rely on your mother and me. Your mother is old and can't move her legs. It's not easy for her to cook. She has to take care of the food for many of us. She's very tired every day. If it's just me and your mother eating, we can just make do. Your mother won't be so tired. Seeing that Hu Chunhua and Zhao Baoshan were determined, Zhao Wenshui felt a little desperate. Did he really have to bring Li Chuiying back? Zhao Jing tugged at Zhao Wenshui's sleeve and said, "Father, let's bring my mother back. I don't know how to cook. We won't have anything to eat tomorrow. Tianyu and I can't starve. Father, I don't want to starve. I miss my mother. Please bring her back." Zhao Tianyu also begged. Although he didn't think that his mother was very good before, after his mother left, when he followed Hu Chunhua to ask for food, Hu Chunhua's attitude towards him was always cold and indifferent. She didn't give in to him at all. With such a comparison, Zhao Tianyu began to miss the time when Li Chuiying was still around. Basically, Li Chuiying would try his best to satisfy whatever he wanted. Second brother, Jing Er's mother has been gone for a while. I guess her anger has subsided. Go and pick her up tomorrow, and she will probably agree to come back with you. After listening to their persuasion, Zhao Wenshui's heart wavered. Although he said that he didn't care if Li Chuiying came back or not, he missed him in his heart. That woman was not good in many ways, but she was still a woman. She could serve him during the day and sleep with him at night. It had been a while since he touched a woman. Zhao Wenshui felt something stirring in the depths of his heart. Suddenly, he missed the taste of a woman, and the thing below him involuntarily hardened. She couldn't wait to push Li Chuiying down on the bed and give him a good beating. Zhao Wenshui swallowed his saliva and said, "All right then. Jing will come with me tomorrow. Let's go to her mother's house and pick her up." With Zhao Wenshui's words, Zhao Jing Er's originally gloomy mood dissipated. She only hoped that Li Chuiying could be brought back tomorrow. She also hoped that her father could change his temper a little and not treat her mother too badly. Otherwise, they probably wouldn't be able to be together in the future. "Okay, father." Zhao Jing answered. The next morning, Zhao Yun went to the third branch first and asked Liang Jinxiao to take care of Daodu and Tian Tian. She was going to Yang City to buy some vegetables and get someone to send the furniture over. Chapter 1636. Don't worry, Yun I'll take good care of Tian Tian. Okay, then mother, I'm leaving. Zhao Yun and Mulan went to Yang City together. The two families had finished building the house together. However, Mulan's family hadn't scattered candy yet. Today, they were going to the town to buy candy and some groceries. The family would have a good meal as a celebration. After all, building a new house was a big deal to the villagers. The two of them soon arrived at Yang City. Zhao Yun and Mulan went to buy some groceries first. They had just set up the stall in the morning, so many of the dishes were still fresh. Zhao Yun bought a fish, 2 pounds of meat, a duck, and some vegetables. The duck was an old duck that was several years old, so it was better to stew it in soup. Cold duck soup was the most suitable to drink in this season as it could cool down one's body heat. As for the other dishes, as long as there was meat, they were considered sumptuous in this era. Compared to Zhao Yun, Mulan was much more frugal. She only bought 1 pound of meat and a fish. River prawns and fish in ancient times were cheaper. After all, they didn't have much fat and oil, so the people didn't regret eating them. When they arrived at the market, they coincidentally bumped into the weirdo from Mulan's maiden family. Mulan saw her father, Mulan, and her nanny, old lady Mu, from afar. Beside them was a woman in her 30s. She wasn't very old, probably only 10 years older than Mulan. However, she was chubby and had more pockmarks on her face, which made her look a little disgusting. This chubby woman in her 30s walked together with Mu Dade. The two of them seemed very close, while old Lady Mu walked in front. Mulan stared at the three of them and was slightly stunned. She stopped in her tracks. The few of them were not far in front of her. They were buying groceries at the market. When they arrived at the meat stall, they looked around and didn't know whether to buy or not. Old Lady Mu was talking to the butcher, probably discussing the price. Seeing that Mulan had stopped, Zhao Yuner asked Mulan, "Sister-in-law Mulan, what's wrong with you?" Mulan looked a little downcast. She pointed at the three people in front of her and said, "Yuner, that's my father and grandmother." Zhao Yun looked in the direction that Mulan was pointing at and frowned slightly. Mu clan? No wonder Mulan was in a bad mood. The people of the Mu family were very strange. They even wanted to sell Mu Hin. They did not treat their daughter as a human being at all. Fortunately, Mu Hin had gotten rid of the Mu family. Otherwise, who knew what would have happened? The Mu family. Even if it was Mulan's maternal family, Mulan did not want to have any dealings with them. Zhao Yuner pointed at the chubby woman beside Mu Dade and said, "Sister-in-law Mulan, do you think that chubby woman beside your father is your stepmother?" Mu Hin frowned and said, "Yes, she should be. She was so close to her father, so she could only be her stepmother. After all, she was not a relative of the Mu family. Otherwise, Mulan would have recognized her." Zhao Yuner chuckled and said, "Sister-in-law Mulan, your father's taste is really bad. Although this woman is young, she is fat and ugly. He still wants to sell Mu Hin to earn money to marry her. He must have a hole in his head." Chapter 1637. It was said that parents were selfless and devoted to their children. Even if they suffered, they would not let their children suffer. Mulan's father was a weirdo. He was so selfish that he cheated his own daughter. There was probably not a single family like him in a radius of dozens of miles. The corners of Mulan's mouth twitched, and there was a hint of bitterness in her smile as she said, "Sigh, there's no other way. My father wants a woman to serve him by his side, and my grandmother wants to give my father a son. Naturally, she has to arrange for another woman to marry back. It's fine. Let him marry her. That's his business. You and Sister Mu Hin just have to lead a good life. You don't have to care about the Mu family in the future." Mulan nodded heavily and replied, "Yes, I know. They'll lead their own lives. Mu Hin and we will lead ours. We won't have anything to do with them in the future." "That's right. When your lives get better, they'll regret it." "Yun, you're right." As the two of them were talking, old Lady Mu looked in Mulan's direction. When she saw Mulan, she was slightly taken aback and then poked Mu Dade. Mu Dade also looked in Mulan's direction. There was a strange emotion in his eyes. It seemed to be guilt. "Let's go, Yun, Mulan quickly averted her gaze and turned around, preparing to leave with Zhao Yun, She saw that Mulan's expression was not good. It seemed that she did not want to bother with the Mu family, so she pulled her away. Zhao Yun could understand Mulan's feelings. There was no need to interact with such a family. Zhao Yun replied, "Okay." However, the two of them had only taken a few steps when the Mu family caught up with them. Old Lady Mu grabbed Mulan and said, "I say, are you blind or are you doing it on purpose? Don't you know how to greet your father and me?" Mulan's eyes darkened. She didn't want to talk to Old Lady Mu. However, Old Lady Mu did not give up. "You damned girl, are you mute? Why aren't you saying anything? Don't think that it'll be fine if you don't speak. You are a descendant of the Mu family, so you have to be respectful in front of the elders of the Mu family. What kind of attitude is this? What do you mean?" Old Lady Mu pulled Mulan's clothes and scolded her fiercely. Mulan frowned in disgust. "Are you done talking? If you're done, then let me go." Zhao Yun watched from the side. She was disgusted by the Mu family. Where did they get the face to be so arrogant in front of Mulan? Hearing Mulan's words, old Madame Mu became even angrier. What are you talking about? Now that she's married into her husband's family, her maiden family doesn't recognize her anymore? Mulan felt that old Lady Mu was somewhat inexplicable. Not only did she run up to her and shout, but she also said such words. What did she mean? She didn't understand at all. Zhao Yun couldn't listen anymore. No wonder the Mu family could sell Mu Hin for money. With this quality, what couldn't they do? Grandma, what do you want me to say? What's there to say? Mulan sighed helplessly and asked old Lady Mu faintly. I say, girl, your words are really irritating. Is it so difficult to say hello? Old Lady Mu said angrily. Grandma, what's the purpose of saying hello? Is it necessary? You guys just live your lives well. My father has already remarried. I don't want to disturb him, so as to not appear in front of you and annoy you. Chapter 1638. You. Old Lady Mu was so angry that she could not speak. She felt that Mulan's words were treacherous, but she could not refute them. After all, what they did was wrong. The matter of selling their daughter had been talked about in the village for a long time. It was a stain on the Mu family's reputation. However, old Lady Mu knew that if she did not use this method to earn money, she would not have the capital to marry Mu Dade. At this moment, Mu Dade walked over and tugged at old Lady Mu. All right, mother, don't be so calculative with Lan. This is not a big deal. Maybe she really didn't see us. Zhao Yun looked up at Mu Dade. She felt that Mu Dade still had some conscience when he said this. Mu Dade looked to be in his 40s. He was very thin and tall, but he was like a bamboo pole. He did not look like a sly person. He was an honest person. This kind of person was probably a mommy's boy. He would do whatever his mommy said. Selling Mu Hin and arranging for him to marry a wife were probably all done by old Lady Mu. Old Lady Mu was obviously the head of the household and had to listen to her in everything. She was used to being domineering. Hearing Mu Dade's words, old Lady Mu turned around and glared at Mu Dade. You're still speaking up for this wretched girl? No, you're still denying it. What's so precious about a daughter? How can you use her to protect her? Old Lady Mu muttered. Mu Dade looked at Mulan apologetically and did not continue speaking. Father, grandmother. If there's nothing else, I'll leave first. I still have to go back home to work. Mulan was very annoyed when facing Mu Dade and old Lady Mu. She did not want to continue being entangled with them. When she went back, she would not have to face Mu Dade and old Lady Mu. Naturally, she would not be so annoyed. However, old Lady Mu continued to block Mulan. Why are you in such a hurry to go back? What's the matter? Seeing the vegetables and meat in Mulan's basket, old Madame Mu's brows knitted together, her expression grave. My granddaughter is rich now. It's not the new year, but she can actually afford to buy meat to eat. Mulan saw that old Lady Mu was staring at the basket in her hand, so she quickly hid the basket behind her back. She said to old Lady Mu indifferently, Grandmother, aren't you living a good life too? Weren't you also preparing to buy meat at the meat stall? The corner of old Lady Mu's mouth twitched. We still can't bear to buy it. Even if we want to buy it, we won't be like you, weighing a caddy all at once. Mulan didn't know what to say when old Lady Mu came. She just wanted to buy a gene of meat, but in old Lady Mu's eyes, it was like something shameful. That's enough, mother. You don't have to say any more. I think Lan is just going to buy a meal of meat to eat for the children at home to nourish their bodies. What's there to say? Mu de Della pulled old Madame Mu and persuaded her. Old Lady Mu snorted softly. I know. But Dade, I think your eldest daughter is living a good life now and has money in her hands. That's why she can come and buy meat. Back then, she also took out the 5 taels of silver at once. Since she's living a good life, I don't see her buying anything to be filial to you. You raised her in vain. Chapter 1639. After Mulan heard old Lady Mu's words, she could not help but roll her eyes in her heart. She did not know how thick-skinned old Lady Mu was to say such things. Not to mention selling Mu Hin, now she was even thinking of getting some benefits from her. After she married into her husband's family, she did not see the Mu family helping her even when she was at her most difficult time. It was better not to have this maternal family, unlike other families where the maternal family would protect their married daughters. Forget it, mother, Lan-er's life is not easy, don't say such things. It's not like we can't live anymore, why do you want Lan-er to spend money to be filial to me? Mu Dade could not help but persuade old Lady Mu. Selling Mu Hin in exchange for money for him to marry a wife had already caused the villagers to criticize him behind his back. Until now, he could not even lift his head up high. If he let his married daughter buy things to be filial to him, he did not know what the villagers would say about him. Old Lady Mu could put aside her pride, but as a man, how could he bear to be criticized by the villagers? After all, men were prideful, and pride was the most important thing. Old Lady Mu glared at Mu Dade. Who allowed you to speak? Could it be that your mother said something wrong? Can't your daughter be filial to you? How much food did she eat from our Mu family? Did she return it to our family? It was fine if she could not live her life in the past, we did not bicker with her. But look at her now, your daughter can even eat meat, and it's not even during the holidays. This means that she is living a good life. And I heard that her family has built a new house. I did not know whether it was true or not, but now it seems to be true. She can only buy meat when she has money to build a house. Mother. Seeing old Lady Mu's strong attitude, Mu Dade could not speak. He could not help but sigh in his heart, and did not dare to look Mulan in the eye. His mother could say whatever she wanted. In any case, he wasn't going to get involved in this. Zhao Yun watched the scene quietly. Although Mu Dade had some conscience, he was a coward and did not dare to refute old Lady Mu's words. On the other hand, old Lady Mu was a weirdo who liked to haggle over every ounce. The main problem was that she was narrow-minded and liked to take advantage of others. Now that they had their eyes on Mulan, it was likely that Mulan would have a hard time in the future. If the Mu family continued to pester him, it would be another troublesome matter. After the house was built, he was prepared to live a peaceful life. Who knew that something like this would happen? Coincidentally, he bumped into the Mu family in Sun City today. Mulan's face looked very ugly. She bit her lower lip and said, "Grandma, don't say such sarcastic words. It's said that a married daughter is like spilled water. I've never seen a woman send things to her maiden home all day long. When the family Zhu married me, they gave me a few taels of silver as a betrothal gift. You guys took all of it, so you didn't raise me for nothing, right? Why should I buy things for my father now? How my family lives is my family's business, and it has nothing to do with you. No matter how good my life is, don't expect to get a single cent from me. I won't give it to you." Mulan's words were very strong, and she was determined not to let the Mu family get any benefits. Zhao Yun admired Mulan's attitude. She had to be like this when dealing with weirdos. Otherwise, she would be the one to suffer if she was blamed. Chapter 1640. Old Lady Mu's shouts were very loud. With her shouts, the onlookers gathered around out of curiosity, wanting to hear what was going on. Old Lady Mu dragged the onlookers to talk about Mulan, saying that Mulan was not filial and that she had forgotten about her maternal family after she had a good life. She did not care about her maternal family and did not care about them at all. She did not even care about her own father and had not been filial to him for so many years. When old Lady Mu saw that there were more onlookers, she became more energetic in her scolding. Lon Lon stood in the middle and received the strange looks and scoldings from the onlookers. Mulan was disgusted by old Lady Mu's behavior, but she felt helpless. What could she do when she met such a grandmother? Mother, don't say any more. Mu Dade hurriedly tugged at old Lady Mu and persuaded her. Others might not know, but Mu Dade knew very well that the Mu family was in the wrong in the first place. With so many onlookers, if Mulan said something and others heard it, he would be scolded again. That was why he hurriedly stopped old Lady Mu, afraid that she would make a bigger fuss. Old Lady Mu gave Mu Dade a push and warned him. I said, you don't have to care about this big matter. Your mother knows it in her heart. Today, I have to tell everyone about Mulan's character and let everyone be the judge. Otherwise, she will say that I'm unreasonable. Mu Dade was helpless. What was the point of being reasonable? They were clearly in the wrong first. If he said that they were unreasonable, he would let them have more. Unfortunately, old Lady Mu did not admit it and felt that she was reasonable. He could not do anything about it. Old Lady Mu continued to hoot, and Mulan could not take it anymore. She was disgusted to meet such a family member. Originally, she did not want to argue with them, but now it seemed that the result of not arguing with them was to be destroyed by old Lady Mu. Zhao Yun poked Mulan and said, I say, sister-in-law Mulan, don't tolerate this kind of situation. Let's expose their true colors. I want to see who the normal people think is unreasonable. Mulan pursed her lips and responded. Now, she could only do as Zhao Yun said. Otherwise, it would have a bad impact on her reputation. Mulan stood in the middle of the crowd and calmly narrated to the onlookers what old Lady Mu and the Mu family had done. After listening to Mulan's words, the onlookers finally understood what was going on and began to criticize old Lady Mu and Mu Dade. Most people had a conscience. Everyone knew in their hearts who was in the wrong first. Regardless of whether a daughter was filial or not, it was not a big deal. After all, a daughter was not like a son. If a daughter was married off, she would belong to someone else's family. A daughter who was married off was like spilled water. How many of them cared about their maternal family? Instead, it was the Mu family who sold their daughter for their own selfish interests. They did not care about their daughter's future and only wanted money. What was going on? No matter how poor the villagers were, they would not end up selling their daughter. Basically, they would live a hard life as much as possible. It was a heartless thing to give up one's daughter for the rest of her life. Oh my God, how can there be such people? They are not poor. Why would they sell their daughter if they can't live a good life? Chapter 1641. Sigh, there are really all kinds of people. It's like a thief calling out to stop a thief. That's right. I don't know where he got the thick skin to sell his daughter. Such a parent is not qualified to be one. Instead, he expects his daughter to be filial to him. Sigh, there's nothing we can do about it. I don't know what's so good about it. If it were me, I wouldn't have the face to say it. In an instant, the onlookers who were scolding Mulan began to scold old Lady Mu. Although old Lady Mu was old, she still couldn't stand others scolding her like that. Old Lady Mu was very embarrassed after hearing the words of the surrounding crowd. She could not maintain her composure and glared hatefully at Mulan. This wicked girl really didn't care about her family. She said anything and didn't know how to save some face for her parents and elders. Father, grandmother, you heard what everyone said, right? It's up to people to decide who's right and who's wrong. If you have nothing to do, don't make a scene in front of me. Otherwise, I won't be polite. Old Lady Mu frowned and said angrily, not polite? How do you want to be rude? Do you want to hit me and your father? Unfilial bastard, I shouldn't have raised you when you were born. I should have just strangled you to death. Old Lady Mu was so angry that she could do anything and say anything in the future. Even if the onlookers scolded her, she still didn't think it was her fault. She thought it was Mulan's fault. Hearing Old Lady Mu's cruel words, the onlookers scolded even more. That's enough, mother. Have you caused enough trouble? Let's go back. There are so many people watching. If the news spreads to the village, we'll be laughed at. Mu Dade couldn't stand it anymore. Old Lady Mu didn't care about what the onlookers said and didn't care about her face, but he couldn't. No matter what, a man couldn't stand being poked at behind his back. It wasn't the time to make a scene. Why don't you care about what you should care about and meddle in what you shouldn't care about? Old Lady Mu scolded. Mother, what's the point of you making a ruckus like this? Do we still need to buy our things? Do we still need to go back? Otherwise, when it's time, the ox cart back to the village will leave. It won't wait for us. After hearing Mu Dade's words, Old Lady Mu realized that it was getting late. If they continued to wait, they might not make it back in time. Although he was a little unwilling, he couldn't delay the important matter. There were so many roads back to the village. He couldn't possibly walk back, or his legs would break. She didn't mind it, but his new wife couldn't. This woman was very fat. After walking a few steps, she would be tired and out of breath. She definitely couldn't walk that far. She didn't know what to do if she suddenly refused to leave halfway. She was an old woman and Mu Dade was so thin. He wouldn't have the strength to carry her back, right? So they had to catch up with the ox cart. As for Mulan, the onlookers were speaking up for Mulan. There was no point in dragging it out. It would be best if she went back and found time to go to Mulan's house to make a scene. At the same time, she could see if Mulan had built a new house and what the new house looked like. If she made a scene at Mulan's house, she would be able to get some benefits, right? Chapter 1642. Alright, I got it. I'll settle this account with this wretched girl later. Old Lady Mu muttered, showing a trace of impatience. Seeing that Old Lady Mu had finally relented, Mu Dade heaved a heavy sigh of relief. If they really made a fuss, he didn't know how to deal with it. If he could save trouble now, he would. He estimated that Old Lady Mu would listen to his homework when he went back, and then she wouldn't make a fuss anymore. Seeing that Old Lady Mu wasn't stopping her, Mulan pulled Zhao Yun, and left. She felt disgusted if she stayed for another second. She really didn't want to talk to the Mu family, and she didn't want to have anything to do with them. She could only blame her bad luck for running into the Mu family today. After leaving the market, Zhao Yun and Mulan went to the custom-made furniture shop. In the carpentry shop, the custom-made furniture for the two families had already been made, and they were waiting for Zhao Yun and Mulan to come and pick them up. They were all placed in the backyard of the carpentry shop. Zhao Yun paid the rest of the money and went back with Mulan. Zhao Yun didn't have to bring the furniture back herself. She just had to tell the shop owner, and the shop owner would send someone to deliver it on an ox cart. What was Zhao Yun's kung fu? Zhao Yun and Mulan left the address and left. Although they were a little upset to run into the Mu family, when the two talked about the new house, they were very excited and happy. When the two families' houses were built, not only could they move into the new house, they could live more comfortably. Most importantly, after the two families moved into the new house, they could take care of the marriage of Zhao Tianan and Mu Hin. It was best not to delay the marriage of the two children and get it done as soon as possible. This way, the two families could become in-laws, and their current relationship would be even closer. Zhao Yun had already prepared everything, and Mulan had already gone to Yang City in advance to order a few quilts. When Mu Hin got married, they didn't have to worry about this. The rest of the things were taken care of by Zhao Yun. The two of them drove the donkey happily back home. Not long after Zhao Yun and Mulan left, old lady Mu turned to Mu Dade and nagged, "Dade, do you think Er's family is rich?" Mu Dade pursed his lips and met old lady Mu's curious eyes. "Mother, it can't be." Old lady Mu snorted softly, "I think he's probably struck it rich." Not only was she able to buy meat to eat, but look, the clothes that was wearing were also in good condition. One look and you can tell that they are newly made, and the fabric is not bad. If it were in the past, where would she have the money to buy these? So I think Er's family must be rich. Mu Dade pursed his lips and said, "Mother, whether Er's family is rich or not is her business. Are we still waiting for something?" Old lady Mu said with a straight face, "Dade, that's not right. You're wrong." "How am I wrong?" "Although is married, she is still a member of the Mu family. She should be filial to you, her father. I think you can always ask for something when you have nothing to do. Oh right, if you can't get anything from your daughter, you can get something from your son-in-law, right?" Mu Dade sighed and seemed to be in a difficult position. Chapter 1643. No matter how bad things get, she's still your biological daughter. How can there be overnight animosity between father and daughter? Sigh. Mother, Mu Dade lowered his head, not knowing what to say. His mother was a strong-willed person. Once she decided on something, she had to let him do it. If he did not do it, his mother would be angry and find fault with him. That would be very difficult. At this moment, Mu Dade's newly married wife, Luo Tsueyu, swayed her plump body and ran over to old lady Mu and Mu Dade. Hearing the conversation between Mu Dade and old lady Mu, Luo Tsueyu asked curiously, "Mother, is that Dade's daughter?" Old lady Mu snorted, "Of course. Heh, she's so pretty and looks good in clothes." Luo Tsueyu was envious. She thought that the material of Mulan's clothes must have cost some money. Women were vain. Luo Tsueyu also hoped that she could be as rich as Mulan and buy a set of clothes made of that kind of material. She would definitely look prettier when she wore it. Heh, that's why I said that girl has struck it rich. Old lady Mu muttered. Luo Tsueyu's eyes turned. She tugged at Mu Dade's sleeve and said to him, "Husband, I think mother is right. After all, she's your daughter. You gave birth to her and raised her. That's a great favor. The person who sold her was Mu Hin, not her. If you say that she doesn't want others to be filial, then Mu Hin is unfilial. But you didn't do anything to her. Why shouldn't she be filial to you?" With Luo Tsueyu's reminder, old lady Mu immediately thought it through. Yes, Tsueyu, you're smart and quick-witted. No matter what you did previously, that was to Mu Hin. You didn't do anything to her. How can she be unfilial? Luo Tsueyu continued, "No matter what, if we get some money back, our family's life will be better. Mother, I'm pregnant with Dade's child. The fortune-teller also said that this child will definitely be a son. So I have to eat well during this period of time to nourish my body. Then I'll give birth to a grandson for our Mu family. You can also leave an heir for Dade." Mu Dade's eyes moved slightly and landed on Luo Tsueyu. He glanced at Luo Tsueyu's stomach. Thinking that it was his son, Mu Dade felt that he should treat Luo Tsueyu well. He should try his best to satisfy whatever Luo Tsueyu wanted to eat. It was only because of the child in Luo Tsueyu's belly that he could not let Luo Chueying suffer. He had been looking forward to having a son for decades. The people in the village liked to laugh at him for not having a son. This was one of the reasons why he could not raise his head. As long as he had a son, others wouldn't laugh at him like that in the future. This was also the reason why he still married Luo Tsueyu at this age. At the end of the day, he could not afford to be without an heir. He could not afford to not have a son. Fortunately, Luo Tsueyu's stomach was not disappointing. Not long after they married, she was pregnant. The fortune-teller also said that she was pregnant with a boy. Luo Dade cried tears of joy when he heard the news. So no matter what Luo Zueyu wanted, he would try his best to satisfy her. Giving birth to a son for him was already the greatest sacrifice she could make for him. The reason why they came to Yang City today was that Luo Zueyu said that she was pregnant and was gluttonous. She wanted to eat meat and some snacks. That was why Mu Dade and old lady Mu agreed to bring her over to buy. Chapter 1644. After old Madame Mu heard this, she said to Mu Dade, "Dade, your wife is right. Even if you don't think for yourself, you have to think for your wife, right? It wasn't easy for her to bear you a son. You can't treat her unfairly. No matter what, you have to get some money so that you can buy things for your wife to nourish her body. Only then can she give birth to a fat son and give your branch an heir. When you're old, you'll at least have a son to send you off, right? Look at your two good daughters. They're treating you like this now. When you're 100 years old, do you still expect them to send you off?" Mu Dade frowned. He understood what old Madame Mu said, but as a man, he was too embarrassed to put down his pride. Luo Zueyu saw that Mu Dade was conflicted and said sarcastically, "All right, mother, don't say any more. Husband is just worried about his two daughters and can't bear to ask for money. If he doesn't want it, then don't. Anyway, I'll suffer a little and eat less. I'm just afraid that my body won't recover well. When my son is born, I don't know if he can survive without milk." When Luo Zueyu said this, Mu Dade's brows immediately knitted together. Comparing his face, his wife, and the son in his wife's belly, his wife and son were more important. Otherwise, why did he spend so much effort to sell his daughters? Wasn't it just to give birth to a son while he was still fertile? All right, all right, all right. I'll try asking for it later. It'll be best if I can get it. If I can't, then forget it. Luo Zueyu's face lit up. She smiled and said to Mu Dade, "Dade, you're still the one who cares about me and the child the most." Mu Dade smiled embarrassedly. Looking at Luo Zueyu's face, which was piled up because of her smile, he felt uncomfortable. If it wasn't for the fact that he didn't have much money and was too old to marry a good wife, he would never be willing to be with such a woman like Luo Zueyu. Compared to Mulan and Mu Hin's mother, this Luo Zueyu's appearance and figure were much worse. No man would be interested in her. But he had no choice. In order to give birth to a son, Luo Zueyu could give birth to a son for him. Why would he think so much about other things? That's more like it. Seeing that Mu Dade had relented and was willing to go over, old lady Mu was very satisfied. As long as he was willing to go over, it would be a success. She continued to persuade him, and Mu Dade would naturally understand. "Mother, are we still going to buy meat now?" Luo Zueyu looked at old lady Mu and asked. If he didn't buy it now, the fresh meat at the meat stall would be gone. Old lady Mu nodded her head heavily and replied, "Buy, buy, buy. Of course I'll buy. I promised you that I would come and buy, so I have to weigh some back." Luo Zueyu answered happily, "Okay, mother, let's go." Yes. When they arrived at the meat stall, old lady Mu continued to bargain with the owner of the meat stall. At this time, most of the people have gone back. I don't think we can sell much meat. If you have too much meat left, it's easy for it to go bad in this season. If you sell it tomorrow, it won't be worth much. Why don't you sell it to me at a lower price? Chapter 1645. Old lady Mu rolled her eyes and thought for a while. A copper coin discount seemed a bit too little. The boss said with a straight face, "I say, Granny, if you don't want to buy it, then leave quickly. 1 copper coin is already the biggest concession I can make. I'm just a small business, and I can't make much money. If I give you too much of a discount, how am I going to make money? Old Lady Mu hurriedly responded, okay, okay, okay. You said a copper coin discount. Okay. The shopkeeper responded. Then give me half a jin. Half a jin is 6 copper coins and a half. Forget about the half, I'll give you 6 copper coins. Old Lady Mu said, her eyes shining. Hearing Old Lady Mu's words, the butcher's mouth twitched and he glared at Old Lady Mu fiercely. How could this old woman be so cheap? He said that a caddy of meat would be cheaper by 1 copper coin. She still wanted to weigh half a caddy of meat, and even cheaper by half a copper coin. How could there be such a person? How could there be such logic? Seeing that Old Lady Mu was not sincere in buying the meat and had been bargaining for a long time, the butcher waved his hand at Old Lady Mu and said, go, go, go. If you don't want to buy it, then don't buy it. I'll give you a copper coin discount for a jin of meat, but half a jin of meat is not a copper coin discount. If you want to buy it, then buy it. If you don't want to buy it, then forget it. Old Lady Mu's face darkened and looked a little embarrassed. Luo Tsueyu was anxious. If this went on, how could she buy meat for her to eat? What if she didn't even weigh the meat when she went back after making a trip today? Then wouldn't her wish today be in vain? Mother, the shopkeeper's price is generous enough. Let's just buy a jin of meat. If we continue to bargain, he won't sell it to us. Old Lady Mu frowned and thought for a while. She gritted her teeth and said, okay, then weigh a jin of meat. Originally, Old Lady Mu planned to weigh half a jin of meat for Luo Tsueyu to eat alone. Now she thought that if she weighed another half a jin, the whole family could eat it. Otherwise, the family would definitely be greedy when they saw Luo Tsueyu eating alone. Okay, shopkeeper, weigh a jin of meat for me. The boss nodded reluctantly. However, he thought that if he could sell as much as he could, it would be better than not being able to sell it and waiting for the price to drop the next day. So he weighed 1 caddy for Old Lady Mu and took the 13 copper coins from her. At the same time, something unusual was happening in Old Zhao's house. Liang Jinxiao took Tian Tian and Daodu to Zhao Yun'er's new house to play. Zhao Ping also followed. The reason why Zhao Ping didn't go back to her in-laws' house early in the morning was because she hadn't eaten the rooster. She still couldn't let it go. Secondly, she thought that Zhao Yun'er would definitely have a lot of delicious food at the Chicken Gate banquet today. Even if she wanted to go back to her in-laws' house, she would have to wait for the banquet at noon before going back. Wouldn't it be a waste to have an extra meal? Zhao Ping said that she would leave after eating the banquet. Liang Jinxiao thought that Zhao Ping wouldn't be bothered about eating the rooster, so he agreed. If Zhao Ping still didn't leave after eating, it wouldn't be too late for him to chase her away. There were still many people who came to Zhao Yun'er's new house to play. Some of them couldn't help but want to experience the feeling of living in a big house. They were waiting for Zhao Yun'er's family to move in, so they would feel embarrassed to come over and join in the fun. After all, the owner was here, so they couldn't disturb her. Chapter 1646. However, the moment of danger arrived. Suddenly, she heard the villagers' screams. Ah! Save me! Save me! The tiger is coming down from the mountain. Ah! It's really a tiger. Oh my God, why is there a tiger in broad daylight? And it's a big white tiger. This tiger is so big, isn't it mighty? What should we do? Run, run. If we don't run, we'll lose our lives. It's coming, it's coming. What should we do? Do you think we can escape? In an instant, the villagers who came to Zhao Yun'er's new house to join in the fun began to panic. Their screams echoed throughout the courtyard. Liang Jinxiao was shocked when she heard that a tiger was coming. However, when she came to her senses, she saw that it was indeed as the villagers said. A big white tiger was gradually approaching their courtyard. This tiger was bigger than the one that Zhao Yun brought back from the mountain last time. The villagers all knew that tigers were mighty. Basically, if they encountered a tiger, they would lose their lives. Now that the tiger was coming, they were in great danger. If they did not escape in time, they might become ghosts under the tiger's jaws. Their bodies would be torn apart and then eaten by the tiger. Roar! The tiger's loud roar was deafening. The roar was so loud that it covered people's hearts with a layer of meaning. Daodu was so scared that he cried and hid behind Liang Jinxiao. Liang Jinxiao quickly patted Daodu's back and comforted Daodu. "Daodu, don't be afraid. Grandma is here. Grandma will protect Daodu." Although she said that, Liang Jinxiao was also scared out of her wits. Her voice trembled a little. Encountering such a big tiger, she was just a woman with nothing in her hands. How could she protect Daodu and herself? The only thing she was worried about now was that the tiger would attack Daodu and Tian Tian. If something really happened to her, it would be fine. The most important thing was the two children. She could not let anything happen to the two children. Liang Jinxiao carried Tian Tian and protected Daodu at the same time. Her brows were tightly knitted together. Faced with the situation in front of her, she really didn't know what to do. What she didn't understand was how a tiger came out of nowhere and ran into her courtyard. Could it be that her family was too unlucky? Why didn't other people encounter it? As the white tiger approached, Liang Jinxiao could not help but step back. He didn't dare to run away now. If he alarmed the tiger and it pounced on him, he would die even faster. Liang Jinxiao's heart grew colder as he watched Tiger's footsteps step by step. What should I do now? Who could save her? Who could save the two children? White Tiger glanced at the people in the courtyard. There were a few villagers, Liang Jinxiao, and Zhao Ping. All of them were trembling in fear as they stared at White Tiger in horror. Some of the more timid villagers directly fell to the ground and wet their pants. Their legs couldn't help but tremble. In the face of a ferocious animal, these people were too weak and didn't have the slightest ability to resist. Boo-hoo! I don't want to die. Zhao Ping couldn't help but cry. She was very regretful now. If she had known that this would happen, she wouldn't have stayed for Zhao Yun's wedding banquet because she was greedy. If she had returned to her in-laws' house earlier, she wouldn't have come here to join in the fun, and she wouldn't have encountered this situation. What was the point of eating something delicious when she was risking her life? Chapter 1647. Because Zhao Ping was crying and talking, the white tiger's eyes were fixed on Zhao Ping. Zhao Ping's heart suddenly tightened, and her legs trembled even more. Could it be that this tiger wanted to eat her? If only she hadn't made a sound just now, she would have attracted the white tiger's attention. Otherwise, the people in the courtyard might not necessarily eat her. Roar! The white tiger bared its fangs and roared at Zhao Ping again. Zhao Ping was so frightened that she fell to the ground and almost peed her pants. What should she do? What should she do? Was she going to die now? She didn't want to die. Could the heavens come and save her? Why was she so miserable? Liang Jinxiao saw that the white tiger's target was Zhao Ping, and her heart tightened. No matter what, Zhao Ping was her daughter. If she was eaten by the tiger, as a mother, she would definitely feel terrible. Moreover, Zhao Ping was still so young. Was she going to die before her own daughter? The other villagers saw that Zhao Ping had attracted the white tiger's attention and were slightly relieved. The tiger's stomach was definitely not that big. It should be full after eating one person. If it ate Zhao Ping, nothing would happen to the others. The white tiger slowly moved towards Zhao Ping. Zhao Ping was suddenly scared out of her wits. She sat there helplessly, not knowing what to do. Liang Jinxiao was so anxious that she stomped her feet and hurriedly said to Xiaoping, Ping, why are you in a daze? Hurry up and run. Xiaoping, only came back to her senses when Liang Jinxiao shouted at her. She trembled as she got up from the ground and hurriedly ran in the direction of Liang Jinxiao. Liang Jinxiao's heart suddenly jumped. This wretched girl, why did she run towards her? She didn't know where she ran to. She didn't know what to do now. What if Xiaoping ran to her and got her into trouble? It was a small matter if she was alone, but there were 2 children. It was inconvenient to run with 2 children. Wouldn't it put the 2 children in danger? The white tiger's gaze was still following Xiaoping. When Xiaoping rushed to Liang Jinxiao, it also rushed towards Liang Jinxiao. Liang Jinxiao suddenly panicked. This white tiger was very dangerous. What should she do now? Mother, I'm scared. As Xiaoping said, she hid behind Liang Jinxiao and pushed Liang Jinxiao forward. So Liang Jinxiao suddenly bumped into the white tiger. Liang Jinxiao looked at the white tiger, which was close at hand, and her face turned pale with fright. What made her the most unhappy was that Xiaoping actually pushed her out. At such a dangerous moment, Xiaoping was too selfish. She only cared about herself and never thought of others. Even her mother was not worth mentioning in Xiaoping's eyes. In the face of danger, she chose herself and didn't care about her anger. Liang Jinxiao thought that she had been so good to Xiaoping before, but Xiaoping treated her like this. She suddenly regretted it. If she had known that Xiaoping was so heartless, she would have broken up with Xiaoping as soon as possible and never continued to contact Xiaoping. Unfortunately, it was too late to regret now. Now she might become the white tiger's food. Chapter 1648. However, the white tiger did not immediately pounce on Liang Jinxiao. Instead, it paused in front of Liang Jinxiao for a few seconds and stared at Tian, who was in Liang Jinxiao's arms. Liang Jinxiao thought that the white tiger was after Tian. Her heart suddenly tightened, and she held Tian tightly in her arms. Even if she died, she did not want anything to happen to Tian. The white tiger must not stare at Tian. Such a small child, so tender and cute, had not even grown up yet. It would be a pity if she was eaten by the white tiger. Liang Jinxiao's forehead could not stop sweating, but she did not dare to act rashly. She was afraid that if she moved, the white tiger might come forward and hurt her or Tian. The white tiger circled Liang Jinxiao a few times, but it did not intend to eat Liang Jinxiao. Liang Jinxiao did not know the white tiger's intentions. She only felt that it was very scary. What should she do if this went on? She could not continue to stand like this and let the white tiger circle around her, right? Xiaoping saw that the white tiger was finally not staring at her. The stone in her heart was put down, and she felt that she had been reborn and saved. As for Liang Jinxiao, although she was a little worried, she did not feel guilty about her actions. Xiaoping whispered to Liang Jinxiao, "Mother, just give the baby to the tiger. Let it eat her, and you'll be fine." Liang Jinxiao looked at Xiaoping in disappointment. She did not know how Xiaoping had the nerve to say such a thing. How did she give birth to a bastard like Xiaoping as a daughter? Now that she finally saw Xiaoping's true colors, she should not pay attention to such a bastard, let alone feel sorry for her. Even if Xiaoping had become the white tiger's food, she should not care. You beast, shut up!" Liang Jinxiao scolded. Xiaoping pursed her lips and said, "Mother, I'm just concerned about you. She's just an irrelevant little bastard. Why do you care if she lives or dies? Keeping your own life is the most important thing." Liang Jinxiao almost fainted from anger at Zhao Ping. She actually had the nerve to say such things. He said it was for her own good. If he really cared about her, he shouldn't have pushed her out just now. Since she had done such a thing, it meant that she didn't care about her mother at all. You don't have to be so hypocritical. Liang Jinxiao suppressed the anger in her heart and replied. If she was lucky enough to survive this time, she would never acknowledge this daughter of hers in the future. Her life or death had nothing to do with her. Roar! The white tiger roared again, as if it was angry. Liang Jinxiao closed her eyes in despair. She reckoned that she and Tian Tian would be eaten by the white tiger together. To Liang Jinxiao's surprise, Tian Tian was suddenly taken away from her hand. Liang Jinxiao opened her eyes abruptly and saw the white tiger holding Tian Tian in its mouth. Liang Jinxiao immediately reached out to snatch Tian Tian back. However, to Liang Jinxiao's disappointment, the white tiger turned around and ran away with Tian Tian in its mouth. Tian Tian! Liang Jinxiao exclaimed in shock. This tiger was really going to attack Tian Tian. What should she do now? If Tian Tian was taken away by the tiger, it meant that she was going to be eaten by the tiger. Tian Tian had met with mishap in her hands, and it was her fault for not protecting her well. If such a tragic outcome really happened, she would feel guilty for the rest of her life and would feel that she owed this child. You're tuning in to the Xiaofan's Wuxia Tales YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.